keeps going.
Oh, wait, missed the logo. We're straight up on screen.
Oh, we're just up on screen. Look at us.
Happy birthday. I was going to start singing happy birthday, but I've been trying to support our fellow YouTube streamers. Have you guys ever used EpicHappyBirthdays?
No.
It is fantastic.
Is that one of those ones that makes custom birthday things?
Yes, thank you, Anthony. Yes, happy birthday. Yeah, they just make so they put your name, but they have these great songs to get all this like B-roll footage from like old kung fu movies and Godzilla movies, and it's like, it's your birthday today, JJ. And they just insert it in there, and it's great. So,
but Epic Happy Birthdays?
Epic Happy Birthdays, and they got one with cats, and they got one with aliens now.
Oh,
so
that's
highly recommend them. We're going to tag them in that video. So happy birthday, House Show Live, and happy belated birthday, JJ. You know,
Thank you.
All right,
we're good.
Audio is on.
If anybody's wondering, and representing the Sticker Boys.
That's right, Sticker
right
Boys.
here,
Sticker Boys.
Chelsea.
Hashtag Sticker Boys.
JJ, you're the third member of the Sticker Boys.
Yeah, there we go.
Chelsea made it stick. She said she was going to make it stick, and she did. Sticker Boys.
Sticker Boys.
But it's got to be, you said it, right? B-O-I-S.
B-O-I-S. Yep.
B-O-I-S. Yes, so don't forget. Like,
Super
subscribe,
close
and share. We're close to our halfway point 500. If you want, maybe the last 10, we'll have a little Sticker Boys giveaway, right? We can do that. If you want some stickers, help us reach our 500. That's our stretch goal.
These are
because next week we have our T-Day special. Not to be confused with Terminator Day. Thanksgiving Day special, so we'll hit that up. So we should do a sticker giveaway. But yeah, we got a lot to celebrate. We've been doing a lot. Hitting the streets, visiting some celebrity sightings left and right.
Lots of celebrity interaction.
Yeah, so we're gonna go over there. Yes, T 2022.
What's up, Anthony Barretto? Thanks for coming in again.
Thanks for coming, man.
And thank you, Clucky. We're always glad to have Clucky here.
Clucky's in birthday mode to activate. So, but yeah, I don't know what you guys. We do have some. We went and saw Quentin Tarantino live, talking about cinema speculation, his new book. We went and saw Kevin Smith, The Convenience Store live, which was basically him introing Clerks 3, and then he did a very long Q&A, and we got a lot to say about that Q&A, because there's a lot of A, not so much with the Q's, and we'll get into that. And then we got a very special birthday beer, and then we're going to be going over birthday movies, right? We're here. This is all about the celebration.
Say birthday again.
Birthday. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that the secret word of the day?
Yes, it is. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, I gotta love some Pee-wee. So yeah, JJ's gonna lead that. We'll lead that spot, and we'll talk about the birthday movies. But let's get in, since it's fresh in our brain. Before we do that, let's start off with QT, Quentin Tarantino. So we're gonna go, Mario, if you want to gear up the close-up, those incredible close-up Tron 3000. So he was here live in Austin, Texas, for basically a one-on-one interview, which a live podcast with, on top of that, he turned into a chapter book reading. So if you can see, you did get a book with your ticket. Quentin Tarantino's Cinema Speculation. I'm halfway through the Audible version, but I do have the physical version. So JJ, just so you know, I don't know, you haven't gotten this yet, right? So
No,
it's basically,
not yet, but that might be on
it's his non-fiction work of just, it turned into like he was going to start talking about movies from his childhood, and I couldn't tell if it was going to be a biography, and then it turned into a BTS of all things 70s movies for the most part.
Nice.
Yeah, so apparently to him, besides the current era, 80s movies was a wasteland. And he really, everything he hits in here, he just,
which I find odd, because maybe because we were raised on 80s movies.
Yeah.
I feel like that was an awesome time for movies, but
I did too, and I was hoping we were going to get the Q&A and just to ask him, like, what movie did it for you? Was it Police Academy 2, Back in Training? What happened that all of a sudden you're like, this movies aren't what they used to be? I don't know if we had to guess what that would be, because again, we're a fan of 80s. 70s movies are terrifying, and maybe that's what he enjoys. Like the horror movies of terrifying, they're gritty. Everybody's smoking. Everybody's hair looks weird.
Yeah.
The cars look like run down, like they're gonna break down any second. So I can see why.
And that was
it really
like the last time you could get away with a downer ending.
Oh yeah.
Like you could just have movies end on a downer, and it was no big deal.
Right.
Now it's like you can't do that anymore. You've got to have some sort of upswing at the end.
It is. So before we get into, let me read his flap here. In addition to being among the most celebrated of contemporary filmmakers, Quentin Tarantino is possibly the most joyously infectious movie lover alive. For years, he has hinted at his eventual turn to writing books about films. Now, with cinema speculation, the time has come, and the results are everything his passionate fans and all movie fans could have hoped for. Organized around key American films from the 1970s, all of which he first saw as a young moviegoer at the time. This book is as intellectually rigorous and insightful as it's rollicking and entertaining. At once, film criticism, film theory, a feat of reporting, and wonderful personal history is all written in a singular voice, recognizable immediately as QT's, with a rare perspective about cinema, about possibly only from one of the greatest practitioners of the art form ever. That's a lot.
So you're halfway through the book. Can you just give me the gist of it? Like, what would you describe what would you describe the book as? Is it him? Because I mean, he read that one chapter at the live show.
Great chapter. Yeah.
So like, I get the sense now. So is it him just talking about his personal history with movies?
Right. Yeah. So that's when chapter 1 is QT goes to the movies. So he talks about how his mom and his stepdad used to take him to the movies because they didn't want him to they didn't want us to deal with a babysitter. So he had to go through a lot of adult movies. So he was having to sit through, so like he goes through the list of all the movies like Carnal Knowledge. Can you imagine Shampoo, right? It's just like all these like 70s movies. So it kind of starts off like he goes into every year. He's moving along the 70s and the big film of that year. But then him being him, he just can't help but tell you about the backstory of the movie. So he's talking about himself as it relates to this movies, and then just digs into the movies himself. Like there's a great chapter with talking about Dirty Harry and Clint Eastwood, and then he gets into Lee Marvin. So it just turns into film history. Is basically the book.
But through his eyes.
Through his eyes. Yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
I mean, I had been waiting for years for him to do a podcast. I thought that he was just meant to do a podcast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm glad we finally got that now with Video Archives, because every week, when that drops every week, it's just the best. You know?
Oh, yeah, Video Archive. And that's what I have trouble with. I would have gone through faster, but then I go back and like I want to listen to Video Archives right now, and then I'll go back and listen to Cinema Speculation.
I'll do the same thing. I'll be listening to the Video Archives podcast, and then I will stop it to watch the movie they're talking about, and then come back to the podcast. You know?
Oh, that's pretty great.
Yeah.
It is great. It's definitely worth checking out. I mean, he's just so entertaining the way he talks about films.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He makes you like these films and it could be something, even the films he doesn't like, and he's talking about movies that he walked out on.
Yeah.
He kind of makes you want to see him.
Yeah. And the
He's
way
still selling it.
You know what? The way he talks about movies he doesn't like, it would be my worst nightmare for Quentin Tarantino to say he doesn't like something I made. Like, it would hurt my feelings so bad.
I know.
Because he's so sincere about what he doesn't like.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I picture that sometimes.
It comes from a place that, he could like your film, but then he might not like a performance, or vice versa. He'll like, oh, this actor was like crap. Like I would be nervous as an actor around him, because he'll tell you if something's like, no, that doesn't work. Like that does not work. But the film was good, but you were shitty in it. He'll say something like that, and you're like, oh man.
I know.
Or
Like,
every element of the film was amazing. You were absolute crap.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks.
love the film. You sucked though. You were the worst part.
I was really hoping that now we'll get into the Kevin Smith one later. Seeing how that turned out, I can kind of see why he didn't go with the Q&A. But he's the one that you really want to ask some deep questions about, like because of especially all the films growing up. Mm-hmm. But so what was the name, Mario? What's the name of the guy who did the interview? Because I was like, who are they going to get out to interview?
That was Lewis Black, and he is an Austin sort of legend. He's one of the founders of South by, one of the founders of the Austin Chronicle. He's just local celebrity legend.
Okay, and he must have had something to do with film criticism in the paper, or more for the South.
Yeah.
Okay, because you didn't realize, like, the most filmmakers now, especially, well, if they do read their criticism, they're fighting on Twitter. But it used to be, no, I'm not going to read the press. I'm not going to read the reviews. Where, like, he goes back and deep dives in the reviews. Like, in a way, he is a film critic as well as a filmmaker, as well as a film fan. Like, he's like, oh, I remember that quote when they reviewed that film. And I was like, so this dude's not only quoting movies, he's quoting the critics talking about the movies.
Well, there was a time when you couldn't get so much movie content.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you couldn't just get on YouTube and watch countless video essays about a movie from 30 years ago.
Yeah.
So anything you could get your hands on, you would want to read it over and over. I remember getting the friggin' Starlog magazines and the Fangorias and the Movie Maker magazine. Anything you could get that had movie info in it, and you'd read it over and over because that's all there was.
You would just grab it. Yeah, it was the same with wrestling magazines. You just really wanted to absorb all you can, and now you got the fire hose that is the internet when you can absorb all you can. But it's a little harder to vet. Like, right? Like now, back then you knew, right? It was just like, you knew Siskel and Ebert, you knew Rex Reed. What was it? You knew the guy that was on Showtime, Bill Harris. We'll talk again, right? So
we'll talk again. That's
we'll
right.
We'll talk again. So like they had all these renowned critics. Do they have that now? Like you have the more famous YouTubers, but like a lot of people, like we probably can go in there and get like a press badge and be considered a film critic. But like, do you have to have like a film history background to be a critic? But he doesn't. He created his own film history, and he's probably a really good critic because I don't know how much he's off when he's talking about his stuff.
I mean, most of his stuff is pretty personal, so I think he's kind of created his own film history lessons. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what's pretty incredible, and this is he gets into this. You'll notice a lot of the stories that he talks about in the book. He talks about in the Video Archives podcast too. You'll see he's like, okay, he's going to talk about that. He will go back and change his mind about movies, which is interesting because our consciousness evolves as we're going, so we're going to have different sensibilities. And he's like, I remember seeing that movie when I was 8 and I hated it, but then I went back and watched it and I'm like, okay, now I get it. So the filmmaker made that. I was like, damn it.
I mean, that happens.
Now you get it.
I feel like that happens with like all media. Like for me, like with music, I back in the day, you'd have to buy a whole album just to get the one song, and then so you listen to the rest of the album. And you're like, this isn't for me. I mean, I just got it for the one song. And then, but maybe you put it on again later, down the line as you get older, and you're like, oh, I understand now. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
No, that's true. You ever think that they put the song that was always second was like the batting cleanup? Because like, if you listen to your favorite song and then you catch the end of the next song, you're going to associate liking that song because it's attached to the first song that you did like. And I noticed that happened a lot. So if you re-listening, with QT, did you notice, and you told me, he's like, oh, they're probably going to get Lewis Black, and you called it, and I was thinking the other Lewis Black.
The comedian?
The angry ranter.
Yeah, I was not, it was not him, and you're like, I don't know if he's going to be able to, because like he had a stroke, and you were right, he was really hard to understand, but it didn't matter because it was Quentin Tarantino. He was interviewing himself. He was like John Candy in Stripes. Oh no, bluff me. He's like, well, here, why don't you set me up like this? And then he told him how he's going to set him up. And then he's like, well, you just said it. You just set yourself up. And then you just go.
And then Lewis Black would ask about a specific thing in the book. And he's like, well, I don't want to reveal everything. I don't want to talk about that part, but I'll talk about this.
And he did, yeah. It was really good. I mean, I did enjoy it. See him on the stage. He's just a performer. He's just such a. Again, I keep referencing Kevin Smith because they're all kind of bleeding together. But I picture him as Elvis in Golden Girls, and then what was the one movie where he was acting where he came out of the pool, and he was like in clothes, like. I couldn't tell if he also wanted...
Destiny Turns on the Radio?
Yes, that's it.
Yeah,
Destiny Turns on the Radio. everyone's like, oh, he wants to be an actor. I was like, no, I think he just wants to be part of every part of it.
Yeah, it's always weird to see him pop up in things.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, wait. And it's because he's got all of it in him.
He does.
And so he wants to be a director and a writer, but he wants to be part of this process too. And so it's always like a nice thing. You're like, oh hey, look, it's Quentin Tarantino. He's popped up in this random,
right? Yeah, and he pictures, when he's writing, he pictures the actors like, yeah, I'm writing this for you. I'm writing this for you. But even if you think about it, Jimmy in Pulp Fiction was very memorable. So like he wrote for himself, and it worked.
Yes, yes.
Because he is. We'll talk about Hefe, who was on here last week. He's the one who told us the story when he worked at Troublemaker Studios with Robert, and Quentin was there. I think that's when they were doing
Grindhouse, isn't it?
Yeah, it was doing Grindhouse, and they were talking about how Robert would do like a lot of these takes, and he's like, oh, okay, we'll do that. And then with Quentin, and he said it, he's like, I'm a director, I'm not a selector. It's like, I'm going to get what I want to get. And it's like he saw it in his head, and he wasn't going to select. He was going to direct, and he was going to get it out of you.
Yeah.
And I think he has that ability he hears the voice, he sees it on paper, and he'll act it out. And he won't do a line read necessarily, but he can if you want to, and he'll actually perform it. Because when he was on stage, he was working the stage. He was giving heat to the Paramount lighting crew.
I felt bad for the spot op because he was doing a good job until he was calling him out. Yeah. I was like, man, his union rep is going to get an email. It's like, what was going on at the Quentin Tarantino show? Why didn't you follow him? It was like, I hope somebody recorded it because that dude's going to get docked his pay.
Yeah. And then the people in the front were trying to help the guy. And then Quentin he's like, this isn't a press conference. We don't need your opinion. I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
Because he does feel like, you've seen some stuff on YouTube, but like he's not going to pull back. He doesn't hold back his opinions. And so he's not somebody that you've seen him on like news pressers. I saw him like almost get into it with somebody outside, like I think it was that
paparazzi, right?
Yeah. Oh man, if you're paparazzi, like he's like ready to fight you. Yeah. So like he's not somebody, and you can tell that's just his personality. If he has something to say, which he has a lot to say, judging by all his writing, right. He's not the guy who's like, I'm not gonna say it. He's gonna say it, and he's gonna say it loud.
Yeah.
So if you're not ready and his confrontations aren't always about, I'm gonna get in a fight with you. Like his friend that he did video archives with on the Robert Avery. They have like spirited debates. He's like, no, you're bullshitting me. They're like, no, I didn't see that. You're just a real stretch for that. And I was like, even with his friends, he's like, he's gonna make you back up what you're saying. Right. If you're gonna, go beta and back down, he's gonna just steamroll over you.
Quentin Tarantino is one of the people, or at least from directors, he's one of the directors that has never ever had to give any fucks. Like he has had the most, like as far as directing, filmmaking batting average, it's almost 1,000.
Yeah.
And like he's never had to be, even Martin Scorsese had a time where he had some flops and he was like, man, maybe I'm not cut out for this. You know what I mean? And then he came back with Raging Bull or whatever. But it's like, he has never had any kind of downturn in his career. His biggest downturn was Grindhouse, which is still great. Deathproof is great. I'm sure he hears it all the time from people. They're probably, oh, it's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
And he calls it his worst movie. And it's better than 99% of the movies that come out on a daily basis.
That's a shame that it's got balled into that, because it is a really great film, and they have their midnight screenings, and he's got to know it. But I remember him also being very defensive of it when the critics first came out, and he's like, "Remember, this was an experimental film," because it was. Nobody at the time was doing a back-to-back Grindhouse double feature with fake trailers in there. I freaking loved it. I wanted more. I still want more of that. I think, Mario, you said it, he was very defensive of his body of work, and he has to be like, it was experimental. That's the way it went, but I just think it wasn't presented. I think that was a marketing problem. That
Nobody
wasn't a film
explained it
problem.
to the marketing department what the
No.
movie was, and they had no idea. So I think that the release was wrong. You don't release Grindhouse on Christmas Day. Whose idea was that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was bad. Then he got, so after he did his one-on-one self-interview, is that a
so
0-on-1 self-interview? He took a break because he loves intermissions. He did his intermission. He came back. He changed his shirt. He was wearing the, what was the movie theater shirt that he was wearing? He said it was on
It was
campus.
the Adobe.
It was
He had
Adobe.
Yep. Adobe, like a staff shirt.
He was repping,
nice.
right? Because he looks at this, you know, he came here a lot with it in his film journey, so he was definitely happy to be in Austin. And then he came out with another shirt, and that's when he got into the last chapter reading, and it was great. That if you just read that chapter alone, if you're a film fan, you're going to want to read it. And now it was all about somebody that his mom was friend with named Floyd, and it's just how Floyd influenced his films, and it's kind of sad.
A guy that rented a room in his mother's house.
Yeah, that it was just some random passerby or guy that like influenced how he looked at films as a whole. And I was like, I hope someday, maybe if you're not going to do what Mario suggested and do your just commercial all out balls out, then make the Floyd biopic. And then maybe make his film, because he talked about the screenplay he read, and it was like it was probably the first screenplay he ever read. So I don't know, Mario, what did you think? I mean, I think all in all, it was a really cool experience to see that live.
Yeah, it was a great show. I mean, he's a super entertaining guy. And like, I feel like if you're a movie fan, it's just awesome to see. I mean, let's face it. He's one of the greatest directors of our time.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, he's a legend. He's a living legend. He's going to be up there when the movie history books are written. They'll write books about him.
Yep.
They'll teach him in school. And it's just awesome to just, see him being up there and just really just talking about how he became himself. Maybe that's arrogant. I don't know. Maybe to write a book about how you became you, but like, I'm interested. I want to know how you became you. How do we do that?
It is. It's like you couldn't plan it, like how it was. Like everything just lined up right, because he was ballsy, And there's a chapter in the book where he talks about that when he's like, "When if I make a movie, I'm going to do this," and like, well, you can't do that. Like, why? It's like, well, they said you can't do that. He's like, who's they? They're not going to stop me. It's like, this is before he made a film, and he's already ripping up studio notes before the studio notes even knew the studio even knew who he was. He's like, no, screw that. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Even before he was over as a director, Harvey Weinstein, he didn't even back down from Harvey Weinstein. Harvey Weinstein said in Reservoir Dogs, you need to cut the scene where they cut the dude's ear off. That's too much. And I think about it now, Reservoir Dogs, that scene, I feel like we're desensitized a little bit. Doesn't seem that crazy. But at the time, I remember people were super freaked out by the ear cutting scene.
Oh, no, you're right. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a huge fan of his work now, but that was his first movie of his that I saw. And I stopped it after that. And I had to go back and watch it because I was like, oh, nope, not watching that. And I was like, I can't believe somebody from Blockbuster recommended that to me. Like, you're going to love this film. It's like, what the hell is wrong with you?
So Harvey Weinstein tells him to cut the ear chopping scene, and he's like, no,
Yeah.
not going to do it. And then you've heard what he said to Harvey is like, Harvey's like, cut this. It's gonna offend so many people. It's gonna freak people out. And Quentin's like, no, don't you get it? This movie will be the movie where the guy gets its ear chopped off. Like, he understands
He gets it.
marketing. He understands everything with movies, top to bottom. He understands celebrities. You know what I mean?
He does.
When he talks on Video Archives, as I was telling you, Jeff, he talks about like being a young director and going to celebrity parties and meeting people, and he's just like, he just gives his secrets. He's like, I would think of the most obscure movie they'd ever been in that I like, and then I would go talk to him about that, and they would flip out. And that way, he like created his own legend. You know?
Yeah, it's funny in the latest video archives after show. There's a story about
haven't
Roger
heard that
Avery
one yet.
doing that with Tom Hanks. He's like, Tom Hanks looks so offended, like I brought up like one of his biggest atrocities he ever did.
Oh, Roger Avery, right?
Yeah, Roger Avery. Yeah, he called him out. That's one of his movies. I was like, I don't understand why celebrities are like that. Maybe this is going to be a short. Why are celebrities like that? I think you need to own your body of work. Jennifer Aniston, yeah, you were in Leprechaun. That's fine. Look, everything worked out for you. Leave it. It's all good.
I don't know. I told Shane Black I love Lethal Weapon, and he got offended.
There's celebrities who would appear on Star Trek shows, like especially like there was a bunch of celebrities who would appear like on Star Trek Next Generation, and so Trek fans would be like, "Oh, hey, I remember," and they would just disown. Like I was never there. Like no, your name's in the credit. Like no, and they would just completely disown it. Like no, like that's a classic piece of history.
I just don't. Yeah, I don't get that. I think this is their handlers or their PR people. Guess what? The PR people are wrong. Don't.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're right.
I don't think it's the PR people. I think it's their own sense of just
Really?
just ego. Yeah, it's just like, no, that wasn't good. No.
I mean, look, Tom Hanks to me is not Tom Hanks if he's not drinking vanilla extract in the Family Ties cupboard as a recovering alcoholic. Tom Hanks is not Tom Hanks unless he's dancing with the coke snorting donkey in Bachelor Party. That's part of your body of work. That's
My Tom Hanks was on the Love Boat.
That's right.
Oh,
Remember that Love Boat episode
You
with Tom
do,
Hanks?
yeah.
deep cut.
So I think they need to own that. Yes, it's all about artistic integrity and marketing. You need to have some artistic integrity within your marketing to make that work. So, but it was a great show. So JD, I think you need to, and anybody out there, you really do need to, if you are a fan of film history, or if you just want to see, if you just want to be interested in all these films that happened in the 70s, this is it. This is your jam.
Jeff, how about we do an Andy Kaufman gimmick and just read the book
You want
live?
to just read it out loud.
We just trade it off. Everybody reads a chapter.
You would just freaking read a chapter. There was I could do so we can read. Oh no, he doesn't have a table of contents, which I thought was interesting. But Little Q Goes to the Movies is great because I'm going to give you one spoiler that's going to hook you in the book is, so after because Quentin Tarantino has a reputation that he's not afraid to drop any kind of certain language around any kind of African Americans, whatever you want to call it. Like he's somehow, and he gets into why that is. And I think that's really important of understanding why that is. So when he was a little kid and after his parents split up, he's like, basically my mom only started dating black guys. And I'm like, okay. So they started taking him to like all these like, blaxploitation, which influenced a huge body of his work.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why he starts talking about when he was little and he's looking around and like they're screaming, in the theaters, they're screaming back at the screen, which is like so he starts like yelling it. And there's a funny line just as a little kid. I don't want the algorithm to piss him off, but he looked around, he's trying to impress everybody. He's like, "S my D," and they're like, "Yeah." But it's just like, again, it influenced a lot of his films.
Oh,
and
definitely,
it's
yeah.
great. I mean, because he does it, I guess, you can tell he's doing it for art. When you read this, you can tell he's not coming from any kind of hate at all. It's really about the art and talking about the difference between 70s films and 80s. Those 70s films were so gritty and so violent. And there was a couple of chapters where he's talking about, they shied away from it because this ending was, they thought was a little too violent. He's like, I didn't think it was violent enough. So for him, the violence is important, whether it's cutting off the ears, and he explains why he wants you to laugh during a very uncomfortable violent scene, and he kind of explains where it's coming from, and it's not because he's sadistic. There's the reason, because he's trying to elicit an emotion. He's an artist that wants you to react. Because right after Reservoir Dogs, when you're talking about Pulp Fiction, everybody just talked about how uncomfortable they were when they were laughing when he shot Marvin in the face.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm glad. Okay, we need to talk about this.
Yeah, talk about it.
Because the very first time I saw Pulp Fiction, I saw it way too late, but the very first time I saw Pulp Fiction, when he shoots him in the face, they're in the car and then they hit then boom, the gun goes off. I laughed my ass off. My friend is looking at me like I am a crazy person. Like, he's like, what's so funny? Like, a guy just, and I'm like, I don't, that's so, like, I could not stop laughing. It took us a minute. Like, we had to pause the movie, and I'm just.
Well, it's John Travolta's delivery, because he's just like, oh man, I shot Marvin in the face.
That too, John Travolta, classic delivery.
Like, he just spilled his cereal. It's just
exactly,
like,
and everything worked. You're right. I mean, just the way he reacted, the way Samuel L. Jackson was like, "What the? What?" Is like he's looking around and it's just like, "Oh
no," because
man."
Sam Jackson says, "Why did you do that?"
But I could not stop laughing. So to hear that Quentin Tarantino is trying to elicit that from me is okay. That
it worked. No, it worked.
That's always been in the back of my mind.
He got you. He got you to laugh at like a very uncomfortable scenes, and whether it's scooping up, having to clean the car and explaining all of that. But I get it, because he said, he felt like he won cinema back in the 90s. Like, he put his money where he's like, this isn't working for me anymore. I don't know what happened, but the 80s just didn't work for him. And his goal was to win back cinema in the 90s. And he did it. And like you said, you're going to be talking about him the way people talk about Alfred Hitchcock, who's long gone. And they still talk about Psycho. If you're any kind of film person, you know who Alfred Hitchcock is, and I think that's how they're going to refer to Quentin Tarantino for forever. He's going to be associated with film, and the guy, like, he writes, produces, directs, edits, performs, and then criticizes. Right? Open his own theater, so he curates his own content. I mean, it's just everything about him is that, and I was like, that's pretty baller.
I just looked it up right now. So if you are into the audiobook thing, Quentin Tarantino reads the audiobook for that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So
wait, does he read the whole book?
No, I think there's a couple of chapters that he
reads
has
a few chapters.
Yeah, he definitely reads the first chapter, and then there's a couple of chapters he didn't read. But I wonder. Here's the thing about audiobooks: he might not have had time, because I didn't even know this book was coming out, and they punched it. They easily, all they have to do is he recorded it, and then they're just gonna like, Audible has an update, and it's just going to replace all the chapters. So this
that's
reader
happened to me before.
You're right.
Audible,
yeah, I saw that, and it's just he could just be a placeholder.
Yeah.
Because I don't know about you guys, I want the person who wrote the book to read me the book.
Well, I mean, the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood audiobook is read by Jennifer Jason Leigh, and I think it works great.
Yeah, that really worked.
Yeah,
Although,
perfect.
Man, if Kurt Russell would have read that, that would have been even better. But I do agree. If he would have read it, just the way he narrates in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I would have rather had Cliff Booth read it.
Yeah.
And he's like this. Look, I mean, Brad Pitt won Best Supporting Actor. I'm sorry. He is the lead of that movie, in my opinion.
That's a good debate. Like, who was the lead? So
I really think he's the lead, and it's not co-leads. It's really his story. It's his story. He's the one having the Hollywood adventure. You see what I'm saying? He's the one who has he's not an actor, he's not a director. He's got, he basically without Rick Dalton, he's got no in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is happening to him,
You're right. You're absolutely right. I never looked at it that way. But he's the one along for the ride that he's doing. I mean, he got to fight Bruce Lee. He wouldn't have been able to do that if it wasn't for Rick Dalton.
Yeah. He's got all the best lines. I just think he's the lead. I mean, that's cool. I'm glad Brad Pitt got an Oscar, but I feel like he was the lead of that movie.
Torching hippies in a pool. That's right. Well, now, yeah. So here's a question. All right.
And you were on a horsey.
You're a pretty white face. I'm going to say that, and this could be controversial, and I'm curious what you guys can say that. And Quentin Tarantino obviously is a fan of both people because they've been in multiple movies. Who would you consider a better actor when it comes to picking films and being in films? Leonardo DiCaprio or Brad Pitt?
A better actor?
Yeah, or even just like a better all around, like better film selector, like maybe less bombs. So I guess better around, all around, like, are you going to watch more Leo films or are you going to watch more Brad Pitt films?
I mean, I would say just based on some of the things they've done in the past, probably Brad Pitt. Because I think immediately I think of a lot of Fight Club, 12 Monkeys.
Oh, man, yeah.
He's got a pretty good library of like wacky stuff. I can't think of wacky Leo stuff. Anytime I think of Leo, though, I think of the Basketball Diaries.
The Basketball Diaries,
That's the one that always jumps out at me as far as my favorite Leo performance.
Yeah, What's Eating Gilbert Grape was another one. Wasn't he on Growing Pains?
He was on
Yeah,
Growing
he
Pains.
was on Growing Pains.
He's in Critters 3.
Critters 3, that's
Oh, wow.
Oh, RJ said Brad Pitt because of Oceans, the Oceans
The
series.
Oceans, yeah.
Here,
Although
speaking
Leo's
of,
got Wolf of Wall Street, which is amazing.
oh my god, yeah, that is so good. These guys are good, and I mean, it's and the only reason I picked those two because it's neck and neck for me. Those guys, like, I just feel like it's very hard for them to pick a bad script. There's just something, but they both have other performances that still make you like them as people. So for Brad Pitt, it 'tis the season, Thanksgiving. Go back and do yourself a favor. I don't care if you're not a fan of Friends. You need to see Brad Pitt on Friends when he was married to Jennifer Aniston in real life. He comes on the show as the person who hated her throughout high school because she did. His performance in there was great, and it was on Friends, which is probably the last real type of sitcom. And then do yourself a favor, go back and watch Leonardo DiCaprio reaction to Lady Gaga bumping into him at the Golden Globes.
What was the reaction?
It was just like a regular guy, like if you're a bunch of guys like sitting at a table laughing and screwing around, and she was trying to be like prim and just walking through, and he bumps, and I don't want to give it away. He makes his face like, oh, it was just it turned into a gif because he's like screwing around with his friends and like he bumps her in the ass and he's like, oh no. And it's just those little moments that humanizes these people, these actors, and then you're like, okay, yeah, I'm all in. But to me, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, QT, man, he hit it out of the park. He made it really hard for film number 10 because film number 9 the more you watch it, it's like a masterpiece. It feels so good, like everything about it. It just feels so good, and it's not as like Pulp Fiction had that too, but there's very distinct scenes where you feel like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, there was a lot less editing to it. Like he just like, I'm just gonna dump this all out here, and it just flows so well. It just creates a vibe that you're like, Mario, you're talking about. Like you turn off the lights, you can put it on a projector, and you can just like, oh man, this is great. Yeah. And it's just simple things like watching Brad Pitt pull behind a drive-in movie theater and he's living in a trailer, and you're like, oh man, I could do that. That'd be fun.
Anthony says it's hard, but I think Leo has more movie range. But I like Brad Pitt's movies more. Interview with a Vampire, I forgot about that one. Benjamin Buttons, that's the one.
Yeah, you're right. He did. I do feel like Leo went a little bit more into like more thespian type films, where I mean Brad Pitt did do that as well.
Well, Leo had the teen idol phase. Brad Pitt never had that one.
He was just
He was like he got over on Thelma and Louise, which was a great part. But Leo had Romeo and Juliet, which had everybody going nuts at my high school.
Oh my god! Talk about 90s. I just kept listening to that freaking soundtrack over and over again. Like even the love me, say that you love me.
I watched that recently and did not enjoy it as much as I remember liking it.
Did it feel? It felt like the 90s, right? That's just the 90s.
John Leguizamo goes too hard in that movie.
The directing style is just too over the top that it seems silly to me. But I don't know. Maybe I'll watch it again and like it. But when it came up on Sling. Sling said, "Hey, there's what we got for you to watch," and it's like I wasn't enjoying it. I don't know. Like there's all kinds of parts where it just they speed up the frame rate really fast for no reason and just gets silly. And like John Leguizamo's like, "I'll kill you," and then it just runs away all fast like Charlie Chaplin.
That's what like if we had QT in like chair number 3 right here, I would like his favorite actors that he works with. I'd want him to pick the moment or the film that he looked at them and like, yeah, I want to work with that. Yeah, I want like because he has the obvious ones, right? Like Uma, it was his Thurm. He uses Samuel Jackson.
Yeah,
but then he goes back deep, and then that's when he brought back John Travolta. He brought back Robert Forster. Jackie Brown, he always wanted, he was cherry picking all his, he had Chris Tucker, right? Wasn't Chris Tucker in,
Chris Tucker is in Jackie Brown. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, what's up? Mike's on.
What's up?
Brad was in Deadpool 2, the highest grossing movie.
That's true, yeah. That's
the
what
Invisible Man.
That's what I love about Brad Pitt, and that's why I think that'll put Brad Pitt over Leonardo DiCaprio for me, is that he does roles that are just like, that you can make fun of him for, or he's out there having fun, but he's also especially in Deadpool 2, he's taking up the whole, he's the focus.
He does, yeah.
He was in that Sandra Bullock movie, The Lost City.
Oh yeah.
And I thought it was just going to be like a quick cameo. No, he's all over that movie, he might be the best part of that movie. I love Sandra Bullock, but he might be the best part of that movie.
Yeah, no, he was way funny. Yeah, definitely, he was super funny.
Burn After Reading is good too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's great in Burn After Reading.
His death scene in that is one of the best death scenes of all time. It's not my favorite Coen Brothers movie, but when he gets killed, it's just like the face he makes.
Oh my God, it's just so shocking.
Because he was like he's making a face like he's about to apologize. He's like, "Sorry, I'm in your closet," and then George Clooney just shoots him in the face.
Yeah, I think that to me that's up there with The Departed. That was so jolting, like it's so jolting, and the same thing happened right with Matt Damon. You just like all of a sudden pop, and you're just like, wait, what?
Yeah.
No, it was Leo that in The Departed that took the shot. It was Leo, right?
Leo took the shot. Yeah.
Leo took the shot. Those were just so jolting, like you just didn't expect.
Yep.
All right, well, this is a good spot. We're gonna keep going. I got a different spot. It just hit me when you said that. I'm no George Clooney. So if we're still talking about QT. Mario, will start with you. What actor would you like to see Quentin Tarantino revitalize or just show a different side of?
Well, I mean, I'm not okay off the top of my head, and this is probably people know about this. I want to see his Rambo remake with Adam Driver.
Oh,
I want to see that he's pitched this on certain things. That sounds like a fantastic idea. I don't know why this is not in production already. Maybe that should be his last movie. Maybe Stallone's got some heat with it. I don't know. But they can just go back to the novel and start over, right?
Dude, again, cinema speculation, spoiler, they talk about the John Rambo novel in the book.
There you go.
So he's down for it.
I think
with Adam Driver too.
With Adam Driver, because he's huge,
Marine,
bro,
and he's a Marine.
He's a Marine as a shoot. So it's like I feel like he could do something really. I think it's perfectly in line with Tarantino's career for his last movie to be a remake of another movie.
Oh man,
right? He's the movie remix guy, and it's just like just do it, dude. Yeah, that's what I would like to see.
That would be great. Book it.
Yeah, book it.
Yeah.
Book it. There's a spot. Book it.
Who's the Brian Dennehy?
Oh, John Goodman? Is he getting too old? Could he pull that off?
I don't know about John Goodman. No, you're just thinking of a fat guy because Brian Dennehy's fat.
No, he's leaned up now. Leaned up now.
Well, we definitely don't want him.
I mean, he's still a big guy.
But he's got to be. He's probably going to be a Tarantino regular, right?
Yeah. Oh, Hopper. There you go.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
Hopper's good.
Hopper would be good. He just rolled to that sheriff. Yeah. That would be. You want to see that?
He'd be great with Tarantino.
David Harbour versus Adam Driver.
Oh yeah, oh man.
That's a film right there. Book that film.
Yeah.
That would be great.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Sam Jackson.
Woody, yeah, he's going to be in it.
Sam Jackson is the sheriff, though? No, wait. No, Sam Jackson is Richard Crenna.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Sam Jackson is
he's
Richard
the one that
Crenna.
trained him. Yes.
Yeah, he's the one that trained him.
Mm-hmm.
Guys,
There it
Green
is.
Berets, goddamn war hero.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that would be so good. You raised the bar really hard. No pressure, JJ.
Oh,
You got
Jesus.
no pressure following that. Holy smokes.
So you said like, to kind of maybe revive somebody and somebody who I really love as an actor, but like I feel like they have heat in Hollywood because I always hear stories of they're just kind of a dick. Is Edward Norton.
Whoa.
Edward Norton.
Ed Norton. Yeah.
I'd like to see Edward Norton in a Tarantino film. Like, I think he could really, like, if Edward Norton could, like, put some ego aside, I think Tarantino could really get something really masterful out of him. And I already really like Edward Norton.
Yeah, no, his stuff is always great. But it's funny you say that. So, friend of the show, Randall Reeder, he worked with Ed Norton on Leaves of Grass. And he says he takes a lot of takes. And, like, he asked the directors to let's do that again. Let's do that again. Like, he calls his own takes, and he's like, it'll be like a 40, 50 takes. And it's like, oh, man. So it'd be really curious to, again, we just talked about QT saying
He's a selector, not a director.
that's right. He's a select. So he's going to direct and you're going to select. So that'd be good. So it'd be interesting if that could create some. I'd love to see that, dude. Yeah, because he was great. I mean, if you get the Ed Norton from like American History X kind of Brendan Norton. Oh, okay. I gotta steal this take. So this is coming from Clucky on here, and this is ripped from the headlines. Brendan Fraser, who's getting a lot of A24 love for The Whale. Wow. What if you get Brendan Fraser, Encino Man Brendan Fraser, and really have QT bring him back?
I've got another one. Okay, that's a really good one. But
That's a really good one.
That one
For sure.
I think
Good
Brendan
job, Clucky.
Fraser would be awesome in a Tarantino movie, and he'd probably go all in. You could put makeup on him, whatever. But I just thought of this because I just saw the new Fletch, Jon Hamm.
Oh,
Tarantino.
yeah.
I feel like he could deliver the Tarantino dialogue in a way.
Yeah.
Yes,
That would be
100%. Jon Hamm with Tarantino.
Have you seen that
dialogue?
new Fletch?
I haven't. I
Dude,
keep meaning to.
it's so good. I've
Is
watched it 3 times already.
I need to watch that. I
Like,
love Jon Hamm.
It is
Love
so
Jon Hamm.
good. Like, I don't know. Whoever was marketing this movie, I forgot what company put it out. They screwed the pooch because it is great. Like, this is like, they could do a show of Jon Hamm as Fletch. He's perfect.
So that's on Showtime, right?
It's on Showtime right now, but you can rent it on whatever digital things.
That was
I need
another marketing fail. Like, Fletch is such a beloved property. Should they have gone with a series? Like, I didn't even know it was out. I didn't even know it was a thing.
I knew it was a thing. It popped. YouTube was like, "Hey, you like Jon Hamm? Check this out." I didn't know it was out though.
Juan Hamon.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go. So I'm gonna dig two actors, a male and a female. I'm gonna pluck them from the film that maybe could say kind of skewed them, and have Tarantino bring them back. And they are both the stars of the Transformers. So I'd like to see him do something with Shia LaBeouf and Megan Fox, and have them get in there and do something more gritty, because I don't care what anyone says. I mean, she gets a lot of heat from a lot of her stuff, but I like Jennifer's Body, and I think that she had something. She was very distracting because she had all her other Megan Fox stuff that had nothing to do with her acting. I'd like to see her do something really Quentin Tarantino like, and I think Shia can easily like take some.
I think Megan Fox would have done really well, like in Deathproof and Grindhouse.
Yeah,
She
right.
would have done really well.
I'd love to see something like
Well,
that.
the thing is, you say Jennifer's Body, so obviously she does well when she works with a good director,
Right.
right? Because that was like Diablo Cody or something.
Yeah, that was Diablo Cody.
Yeah.
I'd like to see it. I mean, because if you remember, like Bridget Fonda, she kind of lost some steam, but when she was in Jackie Brown, that was a big deal. That was a huge deal.
Like, she had an accident, I think, that limited her acting.
Is that something happened where
she had some kind of accident, sustained some injuries, made it hard for her to get around actually, so she kind of disappeared.
It sucks because I did enjoy her in that, and let's think about that. She was acting with Pam Grier, Robert Forster, De Niro, Samuel L. Jackson, and Michael Keaton, and Chris Tucker, and Zeus. Move me. So I would like to see if he would take these people from the Transformers, which is probably a film that he hates. Literally just like what Mario would say, that was written by an algorithm.
Yeah.
And just get him to really just sharpen their chops.
Screw it. Just do the new Transformers movie.
Yeah, there you go. Shia's got chops.
You could have
he does.
Optimus Prime talking about fast food in Europe. Just do the whole thing, man. Do Pulp Fiction.
Bumblebee. What did they call a Whopper?
That deep voice.
They could do just Pulp Fiction, remake it with Transformers.
That would, yeah. I'm in. Book that one. That's the one.
Book it.
You do remember your business partner, Megatron. Don't you, Bumblebee? Describe what he looks like.
And if he had, what's his name, Starscreech saying that, describe what Marcellus Wallace looks like. Oh man, and you just get the shots of Megatron from behind,
right?
Tarantino Transformers. Why is this not already happening?
Yeah, that needs.
I can see the poster.
Oh, you
Tarantino Transformers.
You sending the Dinobots?
Yeah.
Shoot, that's all you had to say. Oh man, good stuff. That was a good spot. You guys want to jump to? Do you need a quick break, or do you want to jump to our next spot? You need The Office, or you want to jump in? Because we're on a roll. We're on a film roll.
Okay, what's the next spot?
So the next spot is the Convenience Store live at the Paramount with Kevin Smith. So get here. We're gonna stick into it because we're talking about this is like
the autographed copy of the screenplay.
The autographed copy of Clerks 3, which we got to watch live with a pre-show from Kevin Smith and then a post Q&A show. So let's start with the live performance aspect.
Let's talk about this. The first question and the Q&A.
Yes, that's right.
Someone came up, and this is the thing. Do you go to cons and stuff, JJ?
I've been to like one.
There's a thing about cons whenever they have a Q&A. I don't know what happens to people's brains, but like the Q&A questions are always insane. And sometimes they forget to ask a question.
Yes.
It's just like, and it's like, it's great. They're like, you're such an inspiration. And like, you've helped me through so much and this and that, blah, blah, blah. And it's just, well, what's your question? But anyway, I don't know. The first question at the convenience store Q&A was like, someone came up and was like, what would you say to a person like me who wants to be a filmmaker and this and that? And but he had trouble getting it out.
Yeah, he was just like, how'd you do it? How'd you get here? What would you
say? And it was just like, what are you talking about? Anyway, he asked this ridiculous question, and then his first answer to the first Q&A question is 40 minutes long.
Oh my god!
No, that's a shoot.
That's a shoot.
Legit 40 minutes. We kept looking at because Mario was like, "This is still the first question, right?" And finally, it's like we're timing it.
Yeah, and it worked. It worked.
It did work because he got into a story about his dad.
Yeah,
he finally got the guy who could never get the question out. He's like, my first piece of advice to you, STFU. Shut up so I can answer your whatever this question, whatever this attempt at a question is. And then he did. And then he didn't forget. And he called back. So
he went through the 40-minute explanation and circled back to the question, and it all made sense at the end.
Yeah,
I was like, wow. He is a gifted orator. I will give him that.
100%,
and I'm sure he would laugh at that joke and make some sort of like blowjob insinuation, but he is a gifted orator. Like the way he talks and what he says, he's got a gift.
And I got to say, and this is going to be a controversial take, against a lot of people on the internet who have heat with him. You're wrong. This guy was the most genuine person. And like, maybe it's polish. Maybe he's just been doing it so long. But you watched him have conversations with, I don't know, 1,000 people or whatever, however many people there. And he found a way to make every one of the conversations genuine. He was never hurry up. He was never like get it out. He make eye contact with you. Like he was at the end of the night, they were running behind, so he had to come out and sign all the stuff. And he made it his purpose to look you in the eye when he talked to you. Hey, how are you doing? Thanks for coming. What do you want me to sign? And then he'd be like, hey, I'll see you there and for the pictures. Thanks for coming. Like looking you right in the eye. And then
direct eye contact.
And if you made a little bit of a conversation, he didn't rush you off. The Australian girl she brought with him, she was the one that was in charge of like moving him along, because he'd be like, oh, I'm the one that made these shirts for your company. He's like, dude, I love these shirts. Oh, thank you. And then they'll start hugging and talk. And then she's like trying to hustle them all. He had genuine interactions with everyone. And when he was telling the stories on stage, you know, especially when he got into his dad and he'd start crying, and you can tell they were genuine, and he gets heat for crying. And it's just like, no, he shouldn't. And he explains why in these films, in Clerks 3, like there's going to be some scenes that you're going to cry. He explains why, like, I enjoy that. Like we're sharing a moment. He talked about a water slide that I went down as I was a kid. It was right next to Haunted Mansion. It was right there. And when he was talking about that water slide, and that guy was like, oh, hold on. Sorry, no pregnant women can go down the slide. I'm just kidding. You can go down. And he just talked about how he was just getting hazed for being a fat little kid and going down the water slide. So sad. But then how that changed him as a performer, because he's like, I will never let somebody make fun of me, but I'm not an aggressive person. So I'm going to be self-deprecating and I'm going to disarm you before you can even get to that point. And I was just like, but he's at the same time, he's trying to help people who feel like they're being bullied or hazed. And then he's helping people. It's just like, I hope this, you know, yeah, I throw a couple of heart attacks in this movie because I think it's important. Step one, go get your heart checked. Like he's just seemed like a really genuine person.
He seems like somebody who appreciates the success he's had, appreciates his fans, just genuinely is grateful for what he has.
He's very grateful.
And like for a shoot, like when we got up to the photo op, which you can see now.
Oh yeah, there was a photo op there. Yeah, there it is.
When we got up to the photo op, he literally hugged us individually both.
Yeah,
that's so great. Like we didn't go in for a hug.
No, he brought it in.
He just, hey, come here, and he just hugged us.
Yeah, he just like said, bring it in.
Yeah. And then he's like, what did he say? Touch me wherever you want.
Yeah, he said, you can feel free to touch me wherever you want. I was like, what the hell? I was like, okay. I was like, I kind of want to do this Superman shirt gimmick. And he's like, oh, yeah, let's do that. And he's just like, and he went along with it. And he was just like, hey, thanks for coming. Like, don't forget to grab a script or I'll sign on the way out. And I told him a story about like him hanging out. RJ, I was telling him, you know, about hanging out with my brother right before he passed. His boy's like, oh man, that's great, man. I'm touched. Thank you. I was like, you got a good crew. He's like, yeah, we really do try to vet out assholes. And it was just like, wow, yeah, he's a really, really good dude, man. And it made you like his films even more because when we went and saw it at Fathom Events, it was crickets because it just could have been any random person that showed up.
Yeah,
they didn't pop. We were with his people and they were popping.
And it just long. That energy pulls you in.
Yeah.
And you're laughing more because everyone else is laughing. And man, did I cry more.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I cried way more.
Sorry, JJ. I don't know if you finally did get around to seeing it.
I still haven't, but no, that's fine. You know, go. I'm gonna watch it anyway. So
you're gonna, even if you know what's coming, you're gonna enjoy it.
If you've got any, I would say, if you've got any buddies or anybody who likes Kevin Smith movies, watch it with them.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And just try and work them into it because just having that sort of like community adds so much.
Mm-hmm. It does. What I mean? And he does, dude. He has a community of fans.
Yeah.
Like I think all the people who attacked him over He-Man, and I'm one of the few that I had no heat with Masters in the Universe. I'm not worried about She-Ra getting too much work, getting too much screen time over a cartoon. She's just like it told a story. He went on a journey. It was something different.
And for real, like honestly, with that whole thing, he got baited. And like he got pulled into one of those like, look, there's movie sites out there that are less than I don't know. They don't have good intentions.
No,
they're not there. They're not there for the love of movies.
No, they're going for the heat.
Yeah. And like he got baited by one of them and responded, and it just turned into a mess. Yeah. So it's just like, yeah, for real. Like I feel bad that happened because like. I don't know. He just seems like a great guy. I told him, I told him like when we were at the thing, when we were in the thing, I was just like casual. I was like, man, I feel like I've been watching you like my whole life. That's all I was like. You've been doing shit for 35 years.
Yeah.
And he was like so touched by that. He was like, "Oh man, that's amazing."
Yeah. It's just like their dude's like ready to hug it out. He hit that stage where, I mean, maybe, I don't know if he was always like that. Or maybe, I don't know if it was after his heart attack he had the moment of clarity.
It's got to be, right?
He was just like, yeah, don't worry, I'm going to watch you cry. And I'm going to just like, and I'm just going to bathe in your tears. I'm going to bathe in your tears. And he's just like laughing about it. But at the same time, you can tell he was being so genuine, like everything about his stuff. And now you go back and watch his body of work. It's all pretty organic, genuine stuff. And the more grounded it became, the more that was his best stuff, right? That was his best stuff. Like Chasing Amy was so grounded and organic. Even Dogma, that had like a very cosmic premise.
Right.
It was still like his, he talked about how Catholicism really shaped everything about him. And you see it like kind of circle. But it was a very organic experience when he did that.
Yeah.
He's another one. I've said this about Tarantino as well. And Kevin Smith, if you're watching, I know you're watching this. I think you should maybe give this a shot. Why not? I think that I would like to see him write a script and someone else direct it. Someone else take his scripts and turn it into something else. You know what I mean?
That would be interesting.
I would like to see that. And you know what? Do Dogma again and have someone else direct it.
Oh.
Not that we have heat with the original direction. It's great.
No,
but can you just imagine if like someone else just took that on and like just came from a different perspective? You know?
I would love to see it. Like we don't, because I mean, I'm assuming they do ghostwrite, right? Like a lot of stuff we don't know that if that's already happened or not.
Yeah.
But everything about the dude, and he was another one that it was a self-interview, except he didn't pretend to have somebody that was going to come out there and talk for him.
I told you, I knew the Q&A was going to be super long. I was like, he's not going to stop.
We didn't. Yeah, it was like midnight.
It was longer than the movie, for sure.
Oh, yeah, it was definitely longer than the film.
Yeah.
And he set it up, and that took a little bit, but afterwards, like he just went and he explained. He didn't even explain that. He's like, she has to hold signs, and she tells me how far over I am.
And so it's funny you said that he had to have somebody kind of move him along. That kind of just makes it seem like he's 100% genuine, because they know that somebody's gonna say something, he's gonna talk to you. And so well, I need you. Great that you love your fans, but I need you to move along. And then somebody's got to tell him, hey, you need to move it. Keep it going, dude.
Yeah, that's what that handler does. And
at what point do you get tired of people telling you they love you? Total strangers are just coming up. I just paid $200 to tell you I love you. Are you going to get tired of that?
And it was interesting. That's what you wait for, right? You wait for that moment of just like he's going to just like move along, and he'd be like, "Hey, how are you?" And then he'd talk, "Hey, how are you?" It's sometimes hard to make small talk in parties that have like 10 people. But a party that's in your honor that has like a couple of hundred people, and you got to make genuine small talk and make it feel like you're not just like, yeah, whatever, thanks.
Yeah.
And he did not do it. He pulled it off really. And then he had, did you hear the big news?
Yes, I heard about this because this was actually something that broke the internet now.
Yeah.
We were actually there for it. So he announced Red State 2.
Which I thought was great. Yeah.
Red State 2 is coming. He announced it at the Paramount in Austin there.
And I saw Bloody Disgusting picked it up the next day, and I was like, whoa, this is cool. Yeah. I actually saw when that broke, and now they're writing articles about it.
I am excited about. I think Red State is one of his best movies. I would love to see him do another horror movie. Yeah. I think he's got horror chops, and I've always said this. If you want to be scary, you have to be funny. Being funny, being scary go hand in hand, and he's got the chops. So I would love to see him do Red State 2 and get way over.
Oh, man, that would be good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I would love to see it. It was cool. That was great. That was a great piece of news. Also, then when he starts talking about how he booked Johnny Depp for Tusk, I thought that was a great story, too. That was like really... Again, it just goes to show that he, like Quentin Tarantino, they're also fans, right? Mm-hmm. That they're fans for it, and it shows through their work.
Yeah.
So, like he said that his daughter Harley went to school with Johnny Depp's daughter Lily Rose. He's like, and they bumped into each other, and he's like, "Hey, it's Captain Jack," and Johnny Depp's like, oh, hey, it's Silent Bob. And then he said he moved around. And he said they like built up a rapport over years.
Yeah.
And then he finally got to the point where he's like, can I make a call and see if we can book him for a role? Because who was it, Mario, that he said fell through? It was, oh no, it was for Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, they gave it to Tarantino first, and Tarantino was confused about which part they were offering him.
Yeah.
So he turned it down.
Because he thought, I'm not going to be your freaking walrus.
I'm not
Why
gonna
you
be
want
the
me to be your walrus?
Yeah.
It's like, no, that wasn't the role for him. So then Johnny Depp being Johnny Depp, you know, it's like, yeah. He read the text and it was great. And like he even read it in Johnny Depp's voice, is color me intrigued.
Yeah.
And you can hear him say it and you're like, oh, this is great.
Yeah.
So I love those like that BTS stuff that he's like
that's
willing to share, man.
Yeah.
And it's cool. Again, you like when you see somebody, you know, we're dreamers, and when you see somebody whose dream that comes true and they, you know, and they're still grounded, right? I had this moment, you know, with Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum here at South by. They had completely flipped type of personalities that you would have expected. Like Jonah Hill felt like he was the one like, get the hell out of my way. I'm just doing here. I'm at a party and I have a good time. And Channing Tatum was like, hey, how are you? Hey, how are you? Hey, thanks for coming to the movie. What'd you think? Like having that, and you would have people like if you would have just looked at it on paper, you would have thought it would have been completely flipped. So when you see somebody that is just, you don't. I'm not saying you have to trade numbers and be best friends,
right?
But if you're just like run into somebody, and if you ever walk the streets of New York City, you know what you're talking about. Here, if you make that eye contact, you can be like, hey, what's up? That's all you got to do.
Yeah,
that's all you got to do.
It's media. It's media training, man.
Yeah,
it's media training. Understanding how to interact with the public. Like I think Rob Lowe was on some podcast and he talked about how he does it, and what he always says to people when he meets them or someone comes to talk to him. He says the same thing. Great seeing you. It's just like the vaguest thing. Great seeing you. Not that we've met before. Great seeing you again. Great to catch up. Just great seeing you. That's what he always says.
Rob Lowe said it was great to see me. That makes my year.
Right?
That's all gonna. And what did it hurt him? What was he out? Right?
Exactly.
Nothing.
What was a little bit of kindness, you know? And I mean, granted, these people are constantly by the fans, you know, they in paparazzi, whatever. But you know, for somebody, especially like Rob Lowe or Kevin Smith, to just give you just a little bit of, you know, being genuine.
Yeah.
Or, you know, just a little something.
Just for a few seconds. That's all
just fake it. Just lie to me.
Right, just lie to me. Rob Lowe?
Yeah.
You're an actor, aren't you?
You're an actor.
Like you give an F.
Act like I'm your best friend.
But it's funny you say that. Remember what he gave the story of the Batman voice, who just Kevin Conroy, who just passed away, the voice of Batman. And he talked about a story of just like when he has a bad day, he asked, it's like, can you record in your Batman voice that says, Kevin, everything's going to be okay. Kevin, you're doing okay. Kevin, you're doing the right thing. And he said when he's having a shit day, he'll go back and he'll replay that so he can have Batman says, everything's going to be okay.
That's awesome.
So even like he's at that, right? They're just human beings. They kind of looking for that, like he doesn't want to be that pudgy kid on the water slide getting made fun of, right? By, you know, by Paulie Walnuts at the top of a water slide in Long Branch. If it wasn't for that, now we got great films out of it.
No pregnant ladies kid.
Yeah. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
That's messed up.
Yeah, that was totally messed up. So.
I think that he's had a long career. And I know there was a period where he was the angry director. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was a period where he was just pissed off, and I remember. I'm old too. I remember those posts when he used to get on Ain't It Cool and complain about Paul Thomas Anderson movies. It's a real thing. It's on the internet. It happened. Whatever. But whatever. We've all been angry in the past. We all have phases. We all change, and I think he's really just come into his own and become the happy director.
Yeah.
Who's happy, who appreciates his fans. And he has mega fans. Remember we were at the IT thing and like we started talking, you were in the Kevin Smith shirt and like all those dudes just immediately like gravitated to the shirt.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
He knows his station and he loves it and he's appreciative of it. And he's become just like a, I don't know, really great great human being. I'll say that.
Yeah, say it. Let the internet know
Yeah.
that he is a great human being now. Because again, he succeeded. He got through the tough part of being, the whole enjoy the journey, because the destination's not always what it turned out to be. And he muscled through that part, went back. Now he's like, oh, these are my fans. These are my people. These are the type of films. I'm going to have a limited release. I'm going to go talk to them. I'm going to go by the movie theater that I grew up going to, and I'm going to make a film festival there. I'm going to talk to those people there. And he's like, there was a screening of Clerks 3 that had like 3 people. He's like, how many people are there? 3. He's like, cool, I'm going to go talk to him. Hey, how are you guys doing today?
When he was talking about having that apartment on top of the movie theater, I was for real jealous. I was like, man, that's exactly it.
Talk about like a real genius moment. Like this dude comes from instead of coming in throughout from he's the real film genius. He comes out from behind the concession stand, and he's like, the way the door is, they like always scares the crap out of the teenagers.
I want to live on top of a movie theater.
I want to live, yeah, exactly. Release the Conroy cut, but yeah, that would be great. It's just to live above a theater. He's like, oh, I want a water. He's like, oh, I'll just go down to the concession stand, and I'll go scare the people working. And the girl's like, oh, don't worry, they warned me. Like, they even have a nickname for you. Like, what? It's like, yeah, you're the Phantom. You just pop out of the movie theater walls at any time. You might just pop out. But again, everybody has that moment of clarity, and it just turns around and just like, stop trying to, fight, get there with what made you. And he's going back to his fans who truly appreciate him. Now they're coming of age, right? That you look back and you're like, I don't know. Clerks is definitely one of those movies that the first one, it's almost impossible to turn off.
Clerks is perfect. They play it on Sling quite a bit. Clerks is one of those perfect movies. And like I said, he is up there. He's in the group, in the 90s group. The guys who like reinvented film. Yeah. Tarantino, Robert Rodriguez, Linklater. He's in that class.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I mean?
100%. I agree. Like Mike said, he transformed from serious and silent monk to the happy monk leaning on the tree. Yeah. But you're right. And that was such a, going full circle. These are 2 spots that go well together, because again, these were 2 people that changed film as we know it from 80s to 90s, like going from heavy metal to grunge. From film, you had the shiny, 80s films to these 90 gritty films. These guys were leading the charge on that. Yeah. So it's pretty awesome. Again, he doesn't shy away from making flops. I heard him talking about yoga hosers, and he was talking about a clip. He's like, yeah, don't go back and watch it. Just watch the one clip. I put it on Twitter. Like, can you imagine you made a movie? He's like, just go watch the one clip.
Yoga hosers is kind of bad. I'm sure we're comfortable saying that.
But it's good to have that kind of self-awareness.
Yeah, exactly. All right, cool. That was a good run. We want to take a quick BRB, then we'll come back for some more happy birthday stuff.
Yeah, need a quick BRB. Everybody stay on. We'll be right back. Promise this won't be a long break.
Yeah.
I'm just here for the commercials.
That's it.
All right, BRB.
When it's late and your productivity is falling off, you can splash a little water on your face, or better yet, revive with Vivarin. Government-appointed experts say it's safe and works, and all you need is 1 glass of water. So revive with Vivarin.
I can't believe it. Don't you ever quit? I've been away a long, long time. I mean, a really long time. And my roommate is still going strong.
Meet his roommate, Renews It Roommate Air Freshener with twice the freshening liquid, so it freshens air longer than Magic Mushroom.
It's incredible. I can't believe how long my roommate is lasting.
Long-lasting roommate from Renews It, where fresh ideas are always in the air.
You, behind the coffee cup, show us your Caffrey smile. Caffrey decaffeinates your smile. Caffrey toothpaste helps keep coffee and tea from staining your smile like they stain your cup. Get Caffrey toothpaste or gel and show us your Caffrey smile.
Usually I get things right. I do, but not my perms. Almost right, not quite right, wrong. So now what? Precisely Right by Ogilvy, the perm you can't get wrong because it shuts itself off so it won't over-perm or frizz. Look, beautiful body and soft, shiny curl. I finally got it right. Precisely Right by Ogilvy. You just can't get it wrong.
This is what butter looks like. Before, it looks like this. Unfortunately, butter can also look like this if you weren't careful. So we made this, new all-natural Butterbud Sprinkles. We took the same flavor as this, removed fat and cholesterol, and left only 4 calories per serving. So even though Butterbuds looks like this, it has the delicious flavor of this. New Butterbuds, a better butter.
Why is manwich my family's favorite meal? Because manwich sauce is loaded with tomatoes and onions and peppers.
Because it's fun.
Or that it's so hot and hearty.
Because it's fun.
I love manwich because it's fun.
Manwich, it's fun.
This is Terry. For her, cooking in olive oil is a family tradition. Unfortunately, so are excess fat and calories. Well, Terry, meet Pam. New olive oil Pam cooking spray. Because it's Pam, it adds up to 90% less fat and calories. And because it's imported olive oil, it has a great taste. Who says you can't improve on tradition?
And to think I could have married a man who drank just plain orange juice.
I told you life with me would be paradise.
Introducing Dole Paradise Fruits, 100% natural tropical juices in fresh combinations that are a delicious change from the ordinary.
Pineapple, orange, guava, or pineapple, passion, banana.
Passion? Passion? We'll have another.
Life's a little fresher with Dole.
Mitchum antiperspirant is so effective, you could even skip a day. If you wanted to. Dermatologist tested Mitchum.
It's a big idea. Hey, whose time is right? Don't have to hide it. It's out of sight. The perfect pack in a tiny wrap. Only in disguise. Need a handy pack. You'll do a double take. When you see the size of our double H. So small, that's all. Only in disguise.
Not long ago, when the goldfish spilled, this was the picker-upper. Today, the Hoover Double Duty Wet and Dry Hand Vac picks up dry and picks up wet with ease. Pick up the Double Duty Wet and Dry Hand Vac. Hoover invented it.
What do your legs feel like 2 days after you shave? 3 days after you shave? 5 days after? Neat and new Neat Roll-On gets rid of bristles and stubble for up to 5 days because Neat works below the surface. So avoid this. Get touchable legs longer with Neat or new Neat Roll-On.
Real quick.
Yeah.
I don't appreciate you guys having footage of me in my home.
How did you know I chew bamboo on my free time? So this is a very special snack time. That's right, because it's Happy Birthday House Show Live.
Happy birthday.
I feel like I want to do like R. Lee Emery, the way he's saying Happy Birthday Jesus in Full Metal Jacket. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, House Show Live. And belated birthday to JJ. Yeah. Happy birthday. Although, again, that song's a little played. I like Epic Happy Birthdays. It's your birthday today. House Show. House Show. Yeah, so if you can get there on the close-up gimmick there, and I'll try not to mess it up. Whoa, there it goes. It was so
watch
close.
Out. Watch out.
All right, let's try this one more time. Here we go. Ready, Mario?
It's on.
Oh, it is on.
Yeah,
Okay.
Let's see it. You can go further. Come on, just hold on to that cardboard. Fingers on the cardboard. I told the lady at HEB it was House Show Live, and I think she put Who's Show Live. I don't know what the miscommunication was there. Or maybe she thought it was a horse show. Man. I don't know.
It's like horse show. It's like, I don't know. Someone was talking to, and you know, by the time she gets home, it's like, some guy got a cake for a donkey show. It's like, what?
They're going to tell that story forever.
That's right.
The donkey show cake.
So yeah, we will cut that cake.
Blow the candle out, bro.
Yeah.
All right, ready? Boom. All right, there we go. So we'll cut that cake, and JJ, in honor of your belated birthday.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do a spot that's all about movies related to birthdays. So we got a couple of. We'll go down the list, but we'll start with you fresh while you cut the cake, because I know you did your homework.
I did some homework. I was kind of going through and you go find those lists online, and some of the stuff that comes on those lists, I was telling y'all earlier, like, some random character in the background has a birthday and they put it on the list. And you're like,
yeah,
this movie has nothing to do with a birthday. What are you talking about?
Horseshoes Live.
Horseshoes Live. Horseshoes Live. Happy birthday, Horseshoes.
Oh, what are the algorithm going to think about this?
It's about to get real
if you
weird
like
in my
this show,
minute.
You're going to love Mane and Tail.
Oh, wait.
Like,
Jeff's going to cut giant slices of cake. I know it.
Yeah, these are some biggins. All right.
So so are we going to do this IMDB poll of memorable birthday scenes?
Well, JJ's going to go through his list
JJ's
first.
I've got a quick list.
And then we'll do that poll.
Yeah.
So we're going to match it up.
So the first thing I wanted to mention that probably isn't on the list because it's a TV show. It's a birthday episode from The Simpsons. I think it's called Stark Raving Dad. It's the Michael Jackson episode.
Oh, that was a classic.
That is a classic.
And so Bart and Michael Jackson come up with a song for Lisa because it's her birthday. And
Happy birthday, Lisa.
Yep,
Lisa,
that's exactly
it's your birthday. That is a classic.
Yeah.
Wasn't that actually Michael Jackson singing that song?
That was the rumor, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
they really got him to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. And so whenever I think of like somebody singing like that song always comes up. So I had to go back. I just watched it on YouTube when they sing the song to her.
All right, I'm going to slip into intern mode and bring you guys.
Jeff, I want to see you eat this cake like it's a spoonful of Brock Lesnar's seasoning.
You know what's coming. Yeah, look at that thing.
Holy cow.
To quote last week, thicker than a snicker. That's how we roll. All right, I'm going to bring it over.
So the next one is a classic that I had forgotten about until I started doing a little bit of research. City Slickers.
There's a birthday scene in that one?
It's about his birthday.
Oh, that is right.
Yeah. And so they go out onto into the Wild West essentially with what's his name? Curly. Thank you.
Jack Palance.
Yeah.
He won an award for that and did one-arm push-ups.
So yeah, I was like, oh man, how could I forget City Slickers? City Slickers is one of those movies to me. There's a certain time period where I equate a lot of movies with the Dollar Theater. Because that was one of the Dollar Theater movies for me, where I would go see it over and over.
Sure, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because a lot like Quentin Tarantino, where his mother left him with strangers, my mother would just drop me off at the Dollar Theater.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And just like buy me like 4 tickets or something. Just like, I'm going to go do all this stuff. Just we'll be back at 6.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of my childhood for sure.
Mike says City Slickers 2, which is the Legend of Curly's Gold, is underrated.
Definitely underrated for sure.
Yeah, you think of Billy Crystal. You think of the 80s. So I would love to get a take on QT when we were talking about earlier of Billy Crystal.
I need QT to direct the next City Slickers.
Oh, there you go.
Next on my list is Coming to America.
What's the it's Prince Akeem's birthday.
Yeah, it's his birthday.
Yeah.
It was funny. I went out to my wife and I went out to New York a couple years ago for her birthday, coincidentally, and it was around Halloween. And so as we got closer to Halloween, we can go down into the subway. We start seeing people dressed up, and I saw this guy walk by, and I was like, he looks real familiar. And then it hit me. I was like, Hakeem. But
that's a good one. Clucky was talking about Billy Madison or Uncle Buck making a cake with a shovel.
That was a pancake, though.
That was a pancake.
I always thought that was such an odd choice. Just a giant pancake for your birthday?
Yeah.
Although now that I think about it, I really want that.
Yeah. I'm all for that.
All right.
What do you got next on there?
Next on the list is a little bit of a throwback, 16 Candles.
16 Candles.
A little bit of Molly Ringwald there.
Yeah. I feel like that's like the upper echelon. If you're talking about birthday films, the whole thing revolves around her birthday. So 16 Candles is probably number one, or at least for me, number one birthday movie of all time.
Let's see what else we have here. This is 40.
This is 40.
Yeah.
Yes, that wasn't.
I know that comes across a couple of those lists.
Yeah, This is 40 is on there, right? Was that Jennifer Garner? No.
No, that was Paul Rudd, right?
Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd. That's it. Paul Rudd. Yeah.
You're thinking.
You're thinking of 13 going on 30.
Yeah, it's the wrong age brackets.
I always equate that movie with my power going out. Because one time when my power was out, and I was just like, okay, I'm going to leave here and go to the movies, and that was the only thing starting. So I watched that.
Sorry, put the close-up.
Close-up's on, yes. Yep.
Yeah, there. Just put those Incredibles there.
And then, let's see.
Like and subscribe, folks. We only need 13 subscribers.
Hit the
I'm
bell.
sure everybody's watching now has been subscribed, but tell your friends, tell strangers.
Yes, tell your strangers.
We only need 13 more subscriptions to break that 500 mark.
Yeah, that's that 500 threshold.
Nice.
Again, we'll find a way if we can get you a sticker for that. If you want to be part of the hashtag Sticker Boys,
we will send you a sticker.
We will find a way to send. you
I
a
was
sticker.
actually, man, wish I had done my plan when I was at Fantastic Fest. I was going to start handing out full-size candy bars to anybody who would subscribe on the spot.
Not that fun size, full size.
No,
full size. See, I might start doing that guerrilla marketing campaign and just start putting stickers random places.
Oh yeah, that's the way to do it. It works, man.
Yeah.
I call that the Japanese wrestling style, where you just paper the town.
Yeah, there you go.
That's the way to do it.
Yep. Last one I have on my list, one that I feel like is a little underrated and a little overlooked sometime, is The Game with Michael Douglas.
Oh, great film too. Sean Penn. Oof.
I
before its time. I'm talking about late 90s, right?
Yeah. Yep. I remember I saw it I was on an international flight, and it was like an overnight, thing, and so they're playing the movie. American Airlines. All right, what are they going to show? And they showed The Game, and I was like, are we really going to watch this right now? Okay, all right, cool.
This is really happening.
Yeah, and man, that was so good. I would, and I wouldn't want to go through something like that.
Oh,
for
no.
sure.
Yeah, and it would be fun. And this was before because this was like 2 years before The Matrix, right?
Mm-hmm,
so this was before anybody even really publicly embraced, like, we're living in a simulation.
Yeah.
And that's the closest you got to it, where they just created this simulated event around his whole life.
So wild.
It was so good.
Yeah, but I remember just watching it being like, is it real? Like, oh, no, okay, no, they're messing with him. And no, oh, God. Yeah,
we need to go back and shout out to any YouTuber that's already done that. We need to find somebody, because can you imagine the YouTube breakdowns that would happen after that movie in the 90s? Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm sure there was an AOL message board that might have been talking about it.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Solid lists.
Yeah.
And there is a lot on this list that I'm about to pull up that matched up on your list. So props to you. So we're going to go through right now an IMDb. Can I do that again? Can't do it. We're live, pal.
All right. Live. Yep, we're live.
We're going to do the IMDb poll of 25 most memorable birthday scenes in movies. And I know in chat you've been talking about it as well, Mike. So we're going to match up if you guys were right. So number one, we talked about it. 16 Candles. Mm-hmm. That's right. That is number one. So number two, you called it. The Game, 1997. Yep. The Unusual Birthday Present. Then we have number 3, The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. That's Bilbo Baggins' 111th birthday.
Right, yeah.
Next up, we got Harry Potter. Harry was taken to Hogwarts on his 11th birthday. So, I mean, that's not really about his birthday, but I guess that's when he got discovered.
I'm not seeing what. Am I going in the wrong order here?
No, you're right.
Oh, you got it.
Yep, that's 3. I'm up to the birds. Birds attack on Kathy's birthday. That's what you get,
that's
Kathy.
Right.
That's an awesome plot description.
Then you have What's Eating Gilbert Grape. Look at this. This is all movies we called out. Brothers Reunion on Annie's our 18th birthday. Here's a classic. Another Michael Douglas classic.
Michael Douglas.
Falling Down. He just wanted to attend his daughter's birthday party. Man, when this movie came out, I was all about this. That whole, like, where are you going? I'm going home. And they didn't want to serve him breakfast, and it was like
it was
3
that
minutes
McDonald's
later.
scene that got it over, right? It was like that was the one in the trailer where it's just like it's 10:31 and I can't get a sausage biscuit.
Yeah, and he just lost it.
Because so many people can identify with that.
Yeah, so good choice on that one. That was really great.
Adam Sandler stole that one back in Big Daddy.
That's right.
He stole that one, yeah. That's a callback.
Next up, we have 13 Going on 30.
There you go.
Which is basically the Freaky Friday. Horror movie, The Descent. The hallucinating birthday moment. You remember that, Mark?
Oh, okay.
Pink Elephants on Parade?
Is that what on Dumbo? Oh, did they get these mixed up? So The Descent and Dumbo both had hallucination moments?
No,
I don't remember in Descent. Did they have like a ayahuasca?
Isn't it as she's making it out that she makes it out? And she, and she like lives her life or whatever, or is living her life, or am I crazy?
No, you're right. You're right. There's like a thing where
there's a fake out at the end.
She makes it out of the cave, and it's just like I survived the cave, and she goes on with her life. But then it's like cut to no, that was all a fantasy. You're still being eaten by vampires in the cave.
I didn't.
Yeah,
that's a different kind of a hallucination from Dumbo.
Yeah,
Dumbo would totally get canceled because there's just so much stuff that was 1940 like. But
anything Disney pre-60s or pre-70s crap, maybe pre-80s. I don't know. A lot of stuff get canceled today.
Dumbo, man, I just think I'd seen a peanut stand, I've seen a rubber band, I even seen a diamond ring. I be done seen about everything, but I never seen an elephant fly. I mean, yeah, that was classic.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know Sleeping Beauty was cursed on her first birthday.
Okay.
Here's another one I did not know, The Jerk, but I do remember that scene. Tuna fish on white bread with mayonnaise, a tab, and a couple of Twinkies on my birthday.
All right. If you had just sent me this before, that's what we would be having right now.
Man, talk about like essential 70s viewing. Just The Jerk was another. Yeah. When you were lucky enough to see a movie called The Jerk, you knew you were in business.
The early Steve Martin stuff, yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Man with Two Brains.
Oh, that was another one, too. I think you do a new spot on that. You were,
Oh, yeah. We should do a review of Man with Two Brains because that's one of the best, funniest movies of all time.
Yeah. Toy Story. Yeah, Mike, you called this earlier, right? Toy Story, that's Andy's birthday present. Old school. You got to love that. Clucky, if you're still there.
Shout out to the IMDB copywriters because they're really putting in max effort here writing these out.
The birthday tranquilizer gun.
Andy's birthday present. The birthday tranquilizer gun.
But man, that's such a famous gif, right? You got a freaking dart in your neck. What? You crazy,
man. You crazy, man. But you're crazy.
Uncle Buck, of course, the giant pancakes.
Yeah, we talked about that. Oh, Satan's birthday? I didn't know The Omen. That was his 5th birthday. Awesome. The Omen, that was good. Harold and Maude. Yeah, there you go. That was her 80th birthday.
I am a mark for Harold and Maude. I don't remember the birthday, but that's great.
Because she was a gilf, right? That's the movie where she's a gilf?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's... Logan's Run, I have not seen in a long time, so I don't remember this part about the carousel birthday party. What else do we got here? Rocky Horror Picture Show? Rocky's brief birthday party? Oh, is that because that was the day he was created? by Frankenfurter?
I don't remember Rocky Horror Picture Show that well, other than the music. So I don't remember the birthday party in it.
Can I drop a hot take?
Yeah, top it, drop it like it's
drop
hot.
a hot take about the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah,
it is overrated. I love.
Do tell. Keep going.
There are fantastic people in that movie doing fantastic things, I'm sure, but there is nothing about the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Like, it should be right up my alley, and it's not.
Really?
And I think it's incredibly overrated. I understand people go through and they do the whole performance. They do the midnight, showings.
I've never been to one.
It's this huge cult thing, and I just, for me personally, and my opinion should carry all the weight. Overrated. Overrated.
Like
that's my hot take.
Go for it, man. Hey, not everything's gonna work.
I could see that. I feel like if you watching it older, way separated from time, I could see that. Definitely feels like that. I think with me, Rocky Horror Picture Show was the thing where I don't know why this. I don't know if this was just San Antonio where I grew up, but it was like a big punk thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
like
you're right.
in the 80s, all the early punks were going to that.
Yeah.
Dudes, kids with mohawks and stuff were going to see Rocky Horror Picture Show. So I always equated it with like punk music. You watch it now, it doesn't sound like punk music.
No, not at all.
But I don't know why it got pulled into that whole scene, and it gets wrapped up in that.
You're
Rocky
right.
Horror, I can definitely see, because it's very counterculture, so it's very punk in itself.
Yeah.
But just, and it, like I said, I appreciate it. I appreciate, but for me, I'm just like, nothing. Got nothing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I
Try doing science fiction double feature at karaoke. It kills.
Really?
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess it can. Yeah, because a lot of people may know the words.
That song kind of makes me cry a little bit.
All right.
It's pretty awesome.
I just was a huge mark for Susan Sarandon's bra. That was the first time you actually seen as close as you can to like a woman naked when you're a little kid. I was like little Quentin Tarantino. You're like, whoa.
Yeah.
And I'm allowed to see this because it's a musical, right?
Right, see, it works.
Wait, what are they singing about? Don't worry about it. Just enjoy the movie. So, next one, Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. I just remember the title, but obviously I don't think I ever watched it.
That's a kid's book series, isn't it?
Yes, it
Something like
is.
that? Yeah.
It is interesting to put Jennifer Garner on the list twice. So if we had to run through this, she's tied with Michael Douglas right now for birthday movies.
Here's one that's great to watch on your birthday: Schindler's List.
Oh God!
Nothing better than on your birthday, get a bunch of your friends over and have a cake and watch Schindler's List.
You were making out during Schindler's List?
Oh man, I didn't. All right. The Godfather, of course, the Don Corleone.
There you
scene.
go, Full Metal Jacket. Happy birthday,
Happy birthday, Jesus! There it is. All right. Finally, we got to one I did not see. Secrets and Lies. Did not see this. Did you guys see this?
No, I'm not sure.
I remember when it was out. I never saw it.
All right. And finally, on Golden Pond, I do remember. I don't know if I watched it, but I remember how this was the movie when you're a little kid and adult. Oh, that's an adult movie. And it was Jane Fonda acting with her dad, right? That was the one time that you had the father-daughter on there.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that might have been Oscar. So yeah, that is our top 25 birthday movie moments as told by IMDb and the shortest copywriters they are.
Right.
Are you trying to save font? You know that's free, right? You can keep. You're not. We don't want to waste the ink.
Yeah. How do I get that job?
Yeah.
Because my job's kind of hard.
Norman's 80th birthday. That's it.
Yeah, that's. Oh man, have you guys watched 16 Candles in a while?
I mean, it's like I said, I'm a big mark for cable. It's on cable a lot.
Yeah.
I feel I watched it a couple years ago, and I think it's fine. I still think it's funny, but coming from that time when that was, that was the comedy and the kind of style you grew up with. But I totally get maybe some of it's aged like milk.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know, I just it's like watching going back and watching Cheers. You know, it's like Sam can't get away with that. But you put it in context for its time. I'll take it.
Sam would be in
fine.
prison.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Like I'm still going through. Like I'm doing a watch through, and I get back to it every once in a while. I'll get away and get back to it, and I'm like, Sam, you need to stop, dude. Like,
you know what they would call Revenge of the Nerds, right? They would call that the sex crime trilogy.
Yes. Oh God!
Because that's all it is. Can you imagine?
Revenge of the Sex Crimes.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, dude, Dan Fielding from Night Court would be in prison.
Oh God!
Dude, they're rebooting that. Dan Fielding is coming back. They are doing that with.
About that. I can't
it's going to be his
gonna
daughter. Is going to Harold T. Stone's daughter, the judge, and I thought that would be interesting. But yeah, he was another one.
Oh my goodness! Yeah. But Night Court was such a great show.
Night Court was a great show.
Classic. You know what I always think of? So Night Court and Cheers have a horror connection because you had George Wendt and guy who played Bull. He was in the first House, right? Wasn't John Ratzenberger in the second movie House? Ding Dong, You're Dead.
He was.
Yeah, I think so, right?
And John Larroquette does the voiceover in Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh yeah, that's classic.
Yeah.
And also, Harry Anderson was on Cheers.
Yeah,
he was.
He was.
Yeah, he was Harry the Hat.
Yeah.
He used to show up at the bar every
always-
time and con people.
Yeah.
That's right.
He was the con man.
Harry the Hat.
And I always thought too, I was like, you know, you could really make it to where he went and turned into a judge.
No, he was lying the whole time.
Yeah.
That was all a work.
What was it about 80s? Like, they don't do sitcoms anymore because they're too expensive, but sitcoms back then are probably what we consider reality TV now, right? Those are actors that, like, because that's when you had movie actors, but then you had TV actors, but then you had sitcom actors. And felt like they had a break out of that. And now they don't do that anymore, but, like, isn't a reality show basically just a scripted sitcom?
It really is.
Getting a lot more, it's way more extreme. And they're like wrestlers, right? Where they got to live their gimmick 24/7.
Yeah. And because these people aren't, you know, they're not the people they claim to be. The so-and-so, you know, Timmy on Survivor isn't actually a biochemist. No, he's an aspiring model and actor.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
You know, but you know he needs to be a biochemist or a banker, whatever it is to sell the product.
Yeah. So what'd you go to school for? That's what you are.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the Real World was the only one that they actually booked real people, right? The first one.
The first
season
couple,
1.
maybe.
Yeah, the first couple for sure.
Maybe 2 when they realized, but for sure 1.
Yeah.
Like they were all pretty hardcore.
Did you guys see? Because they brought them all back.
Yes.
At least the first season. I think they're trying to do the second season.
I did. Yeah, I saw the first. I did watch the reunion of the first one, and I watched the reunion of the second one, and then they skipped 3, and they jumped to like New Orleans, and I'm like, no, that's when it really became a work.
No, the New Orleans one is good.
Is it?
The New Orleans one is good.
Maybe that's why.
That's probably the last good one.
Okay.
I'll give you that. But I
they
am
jumped to it.
100% a mark for those Paramount Plus Real World reunions.
Oh yeah,
Are fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, and also just deeply depressing at the same time.
Sure,
because I was watching the New Orleans ones because that was one of my favorite seasons.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And I watched the whole thing in a day. Amazing, so good. But it's just something about watching those shows. Especially the New Orleans ones. I'll just tell you, there was in New Orleans, I forgot the guy's name. There was one guy, he was a black guy, and he was a very serious musician. So you know who I'm talking about?
I know who you're talking about, yeah.
He was the one, he was on Chappelle show, and he was like, dee la boo doo da boo doo. That guy?
He was that big guy, or that real buff guy?
Yeah, and he comes back for the reunion. He's no longer in shape, and like, you can just tell he's not doing well. In life, and it gets towards the end of the show, and the real annoying white girl is like pressing him for facts about his life, and he reveals that he just works at a taco shop.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah, and like everyone else is like doing, I guess they're whatever. People are having mid-range lives, you know,
Sure, yeah.
doing fine. But it's just like, yeah, he's probably not doing too good. He's still an artist, he's trying, but he's not doing good. So that's like, but it's something about that. It's just like, I don't know, man. You ever just run into people from your high school?
Yeah.
And it's just like they just turned out a certain way, and you're just like, wow. I remember we used to hang out and do this and do that, blah, blah, blah. And, but no, they were different.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It became a lot more, I feel like, sitcom actors, yeah, you can work through them, but man, when you do the reality TV show performers, they become a lot more disposable.
Oh, yeah.
MTV took care of their crew, right? Because they're like, no, come back for Road Rules. No, come back for the challenge. And that's okay. And they're just like, fine, that's your gig. That's your job.
If you were willing to come back, MTV is going to have you back every time.
MTV, and I guess that's a Paramount. Mike says all Paramount Plus real world content. But there was an announcement, Mario, this was a scoop to me, speaking of Paramount. What was the deal? You said that they're going to start competing with Prime.
Yes, so if you sign up for the Walmart version of Amazon Prime, where they do the free shipping, you get Paramount Plus for free. So I think that's an amazing deal, actually. As much as I hate Walmart.
Right.
But I hate going to Walmart. I don't mind their low prices.
Right.
There's something about, one of the top 10, top 11 Walmarts in the country, one is, I think the number one is like in Miami, and like top 10, number 11, 12, whatever, is in El Paso, Texas.
Really?
Yep. And so there's a
Oh my
Walmart.
God, that's not the one where they shot everybody, is it?
No. But it's on like the west side of El Paso, and like that place constantly packed. There's lines for the registers just forever.
Like Buc-ee's.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like it's just, and that place just and so they opened up like another super center down the way. Doesn't matter. They opened up a neighborhood market like nearby. Doesn't matter.
Really,
That
it's like a
place
hot
is
spot, huh?
Constantly hopping.
Really? I wonder what it is about it. Maybe there's a ley line and it crosses there. Just there.
I mean, you walk right into Walmart. They've got a conveyor belt of popcorn chicken. You know what I mean? You can grab that immediately on your way in. You haven't bought anything yet, but you can grab some popcorn chicken and take with you as you're shopping.
Yeah.
Oh,
But, I mean, I'll say it's right off of I-10, so, and I-10, of course, being a major thoroughway through the entire country.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, when you get to El Paso, if you're in El Paso, there's nothing around for ever.
Yeah, it just goes on and on.
And so, you're like, oh my God, Walmart. And then there it is, Yeah.
Eat some popcorn chicken.
And get some popcorn chicken for
sounds
sure.
good. All right, let's Iggy to the office, and we got another big scoop that we're going to talk about today. Unless you want a beer first. You want a beer?
Oh, should we do the birthday beer?
Yeah, let's get a beer.
Yeah.
Hold on real quick. Introduce the segment.
So, this is a spot that we like to call Weird Beer.
I mean, the Halloween one still works. So
Yeah, it really does, because it is weird.
Just go with it for a while.
All right, yeah, let me slide over.
Oh, you didn't grab it yet?
Oh, no, I didn't grab it. Here, this is a spot we like to call Weird Beer.
Yeah, you grab it while the thing's out.
Come on! Live show, pal.
Live show. I'm just realizing that my camera's been out of focus this entire time. Well, it's all right, though.
But the lighting helps.
The lighting helps. You doing all right, Jeff? Do you need any direction over there?
I'm good. I'm grabbing some.
You need help?
Oh, where's the intern? I don't even know where the intern mode music is on. We haven't played it in a while.
Might move this piece of the cake. Leave the other cake there. Scary intern.
Right. Spooky intern.
Here, you just sit down. I'll grab it.
All right.
There we go.
One more time with the sting.
With the weird beer. I have a cup like that. that has in the weird
Oh,
beer.
the skull?
Yeah, the skull. Got it from Treasure Island in Vegas.
Oh, nice.
And you can put like 3 beers in the thing. It's crazy. Like, I remember like, oh, okay, cool. I put a beer in, and I'm like, where did all the beer go? Come on.
Yeah, I think it's a pop top. Might be.
This one's from Primo. I got it.
Yeah, this is a Primo. It's got to be.
Oh, it's a Primo beer?
Yes, it is.
Nice.
I texted him to see if he... Let me see. Did he text me back?
All right, let's see.
No. Primo's busy making beer deals.
I like the Primo picture. I like to actually think that's
yeah.
Primo.
I always just assume.
Yeah,
it's
that's Primo right there.
So yeah, so in honor of the house show 1-year birthday, and also in honor of JJ's belated birthday, we got from Cousin Primo a triple chocolate birthday cake brew.
Gotta do the logo. Hold on.
Yeah.
You have to scoot the cake over so you.
No, I want to kind of do it. I kind of want to make it like in the cake. Can we do that? How does that look? That's not.
We
bad.
can see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we're not covered in something like that. So this is brewed and bottled at Equilibrium Brewery in Middletown, New York. For the irony, this is when you lose your. But it is a 1 pint. Has a government warning on there, which is always fun. But it's an imperial stout with chocolate malts, cacao nibs, milk chocolate, and cake mix.
Hold it up in your main shot there so we can get a good look at it. Just hold it up next to you.
There you go.
There you go. That's the thumbnail. Good. Triple chocolate birthday cake.
Yeah, so let's pop this sucker. I'm really curious.
Goodness gracious.
I hope it pairs well with actual chocolate cake, because that's what we got.
Shout out to HEB sheet cakes.
Heck yeah.
All right, here we go.
HEB's got it. Ooh, good pop.
How's it smell?
Like chocolate. All right, here we go.
Hold it up. No, hold it up. Not in the close-up.
Not
Do it
right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
It's another thicker than a Snicker.
Yeah.
All right. Batten down the hatches, boys. Would you like me to garnish it with a piece of this chocolate cake?
I still have some cake. I might drop it in there, yeah.
Yeah, you might.
Oh, that's a smart idea.
You know, I used to... Do you guys drink the milk out of your cereal?
I don't do cereal.
No?
Yes.
No.
You're anti-Seinfeld?
I don't do a lot of milk anymore. I don't know. The idea of milk grosses me out now.
No, yeah, because I don't do the stuff that's made to make baby bovines grow. I do the almonds.
Yeah.
I do the nuts
I'm
one.
an almond milk guy. Yep.
Yeah, but so growing up as a kid, though, they're like, don't waste any food. So like, oh man, but sweet cereals, like you can't do, like if it's got like a wheat cereal, like Banana Nut Crunch or something like, yeah, you can drink the milk because it doesn't flavor it. But if you got freaking like Boo Berry or freaking Crunch Berries, it's going to flavor the milk. So what I would do is I would just pour it in there after I ate cereal, and then I'd make a shake. So it's like I'd throw some ice cream because I'd already throw like ice cream. So, but of course you ate the whole thing of cereal, and then you drank a little bit, and then you pour it in, and then my friend comes over. He's like, what are you doing? I was like, oh, I'm making a shake. He's like, I'll drink some of that shake. I was like, man, this is really good. I was like, yeah, I just used the milk that I just eat from the cereal, and I dump it in there. He's like,
I remember as a kid eating a bowl of cereal and it being very satisfying. It's like, oh, it's a great bowl of cereal. As an adult, if I have a bowl of cereal, it turns into 5 or 6.
Yeah, there's no stopping.
Is this only me? Do you feel this way too?
No, like I have to really stop myself after bowl 1. Otherwise, it's going to turn to 2 or 3.
I've seen like Rock or somebody or Kurt Angle doing a cheat meal, and it's like an entire box of Fruity Pebbles. I was like, oh, I didn't know it was a single serving box. That makes so much more sense now.
Well, technically, you don't need 5 bowls. You eat 1 bowl if you use a mixing bowl.
One punch bowl. Right.
It is a one punch
One punch bowl of Fruity Pebbles is the right serving amount.
All right, here I come.
Ice Cube and Friday. He's got the big old
That's
bowl.
right. Well, he wanted some eggs, bacon, sausage, and some leftover pork chops. And she, cook it up. But no, I didn't make any for you.
That's right.
All right, here I come. Yeah, I come.
He never got no milk in this house.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I had to step away from cereal because it turns into 6 bowls every time. It's always a bad thing. And you get to the grocery store, sometimes it's like Captain Crunch, they're 2 for $5, and so you think you got to get them. You got to get the Oops All Berries and then the peanut butter crunch, and you get that stuff home, and it just, I don't know, it turns into just Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas with cereal kind of a thing, you know?
Yeah.
I have no healthy cereal habits. I'll admit that. I need to go to Cereal Anonymous.
No, my wife's really good about that. She's whenever she has cereals, it's like, oh no, I got to get the healthy whatever, and it like to her it tastes good, and I'm just like, no, give me my Frosted Flakes or Cocoa Puffs or what. She's like, you need to stop. I'm like, I know, but I can't.
I want mostly sugar.
Yes,
keep the fiber.
Just call that should be the name of the cereal instead of Oops All Berry. It's like Oops All Sugar.
Mostly sugar. I mean, I like the ones that just don't even play on Sugar Snaps. Yeah,
that's it.
Sugar Puffs. That's what I want.
I'm gonna
Frosted Flakes.
I'm gonna call a fiber cereal out for its name. There's a cereal out there that's like they're like, oh, big on fiber. It's called Good Friends. And it's got a picture of 2 people who might be good friends. And I'm like, why do you call your fiber cereal? Because we all know why you're eating fiber cereal, but good friends?
That reminds me of the new, one of the new, insurance companies love their marketing budget. It's like, good friends, young people, having fun with insurance. You're like, what?
Yeah. Huh? All right.
All right, here we go. Ready?
All right.
Ready for our triple Lindy, triple chocolate birthday cake. Gracias, Primo. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday.
Wait, hold on. Do it again. Say it again.
1, 2, 3. Feliz cumpleaños. There's definitely cake in there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
I prefer that to the HEB sheet cake, honestly.
Put
a candle in this.
Are you gonna dip a piece in?
Oh, there you go.
I don't think.
Oh, I got a spoon?
Are you doing it?
Yeah.
I know you're doing it.
I gotta get a spoon. Hold on.
We need to start another channel just for your food challenges.
There you go.
We roll over. Oh, I'm stuck.
Though I'll have to say, Jeff, be sure when you're saying the word años at any time to really hit the enya on.
Really?
Yeah,
because
anos is a different word.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Hopefully, Mexican
That's why we're
Spanish
big in
language YouTube
Mexico,
doesn't.
apparently.
Well, we were going.
You were
through
just checking the analytics. Apparently, we're big in Mexico. Now we know the reason.
There's gonna be someone in like Sao Paulo who'll be like, "Gah?"
Yeah. Happy butthole.
Well, we'll see how it is after this cake to see how happy it is.
I think that's a new piece of merch. Happy Butthole can be on our new shirt.
There you go.
That's also for fiber ads.
Oh my goodness! All right, Primo, this was for you. I hope we're not insulting your Equilibrium Brewing Company, but what I'm going to do here to show you that's not gimmicked.
Do it in the main camera.
This one right here, right?
Yeah.
So we got our triple chocolate stout beer, and then we got the triple chocolate stout sheet cake, and we're going to dip it in. Here we go. No, totally not gimmicked. You see drip, drip, drip. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Not bad. I'm going to try it with a little bit more cake and a little bit less.
There you go. That might be the what's the.
Mike didn't see the drip. So he thinks it's gimmick. So I'm going to. Here we go. So we do the little swirl it around. Can you get the drip?
Oh, there
We
it
see
is.
the drips.
That's
Yeah,
a
it's
big
dripping.
drip.
There's the drip. All right. No drip, no dip. All right. I think I did like the Brock Lesnar sneezing a little bit better together. Drip King.
Yeah, there you go.
But you know what? You can tell that they legit did put chocolate cake in this beer. Because it's not like it felt like two different experiences happening. It was the same thing happening.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So not bad.
This is fermented chocolate cake. Cane beer.
Oh, I just got a chunk. Drinking it. All right, not bad.
Oh, yeah.
Not bad. What would you guys say? Bueno?
The birthday chocolate. Can we get an alcohol content rating on that? Can you see it on there?
It didn't actually have it. I don't know if you need to look this one up.
You might need to. That's
It's
that's hitting hard.
Equilibrium Brewery triple chocolate birthday cake.
They're
It does have a
hitting harder than I
government
expected.
warning, and it gives you your ounces, but it does not have anything else.
Yeah, do not
one
give this
pint.
to a child.
Yeah, I don't know why. I thought, like, shouldn't it be like the nutrition facts that it should be right there? There is a barcode. I guess you can scan for it.
Let me see. Equilibrium Brewing.
Equilibrium Brewing. Triple birthday cake.
I can taste those chocolate nibs.
I can taste nibs, but it's from the cake.
Let's see. I'm trying to find, what is this one called? Chocolate cake? They got a lot of stuff. This is obvious. I mean, of course it's a Primo beer, so this is like hard to even find information on this beer.
Yeah.
Their website is
We should have known better.
Yeah.
Do we have to go to the dark web? Oh, I found it on Untapped.
They also serve barbecue there, by the way, which sounds really
That
delicious.
might be actually, you know,
I've
this
got-
would actually would
on the
pair
dark
better
web?
with barbecue.
Serve barbecue on the dark web.
The dark side has cookies. The dark web has barbecue.
There you go. That's
Cake
why-
in a bottle and a perfect amount of sweetness. The glass was coated almost like chocolate milk. That was from Untapped, so it doesn't. Oh, it's 11%.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's packing.
All right.
That Snickers
Yeah.
got nuts.
I like
got
that.
nuts
That's a good
and nuts and nougat.
Man.
So, yeah, good job, Primo. That was a good choice.
Thank you, Primo.
Yeah, that was a very good choice. All right, let's Iggy to the next spot. So we got a big announcement to make that was actually announced 2 days ago, confirmed by Variety. And JJ, we thought this would be very fitting while you were here because we first hit this for Why Aren't You Watching segment, and this was Mario's spot. Why aren't you watching RRR?
Ooh.
So RRR sequel in early development, director S.S. Rajamouli confirms. So this was 2 days ago.
Oh, man.
Yep, via Variety. The Indian Actioner of the Year, if not the decade, is on course to getting the sequel. Director of RRR has confirmed to Variety the story sequel is currently being worked out by his dad. I did not know his dad was his screenwriter.
Oh.
So that's pretty cool.
That's amazing.
And Bahubali, that's the film that we were talking about that's on Netflix, right? The two-parter?
I don't think it's on net. Oh, no. Oh, I forget what it's called. Yeah. Let's not butcher it.
We
but
gotta go back and rewatch that. But he said, yeah, his father's the story writer for all his films. We discussed it a bit, and he's working on the story. Variety understands it's too premature for any details about the project, which believed to be in the very early stages. It's one of the most expensive movies ever out of India, with a reported budget of $72 million, and had an incredible ride since its debut in March. Because yeah, after March and like on Netflix, it was getting theatrical releases.
Right, yeah.
What do you think the odds are on this getting an Oscar nod?
The first one?
RR, yeah.
Oh, I think it should be
Best
I feel
foreign
like
picture?
I feel like it should be a lock.
It has to be.
I think that's going to definitely get a Best Foreign Picture nomination.
Yeah, I feel like it has to be a lock.
Also, shout out, I don't know the name of this actor. I can't, but how about this dude for Wolverine?
Y'all take it. I will take it. That guy.
Oh yeah, he's
book it.
Fantastic.
Yeah, book that.
So here's the question: RRR sequel coming out. Is it what title do we go with? Is it RRR 2 or is it RRR R?
I think it has to. You have to add the extra R.
Yeah, just do 4 R's.
Yeah.
Right. I think adding the 4th R is the way to go. Man, that would be now you just got me thinking how good of a Wolverine he would
How
be.
about this guy is Wolverine? And I can't. Let's look. I'd have to look up his name to pronounce it. Seen RRR like 6 times now. I don't know anybody's name. But
I tell everybody after I watch it. I tell everybody about RR.
I mean, truly, obviously, it's got, it was as we were corrected many times to this day. 2 days ago, this was months ago. We're still getting correction. So apparently, they don't read the other comments of us being corrected. We made an honest mistake. It's a Tollywood film. Yeah, but it's got, to me, that's like international appeal. Like we see a lot of movies that come out of other countries that just find a way to cross over that everybody enjoys. But this one, I feel like, is that really amped up on how much it. Like I remember. The last time I remember this kind of buzz for like an international film that had the crossover appeal was Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Yeah.
Where everybody was just like, wow, you've never seen anything like this. And that's and that had that international appeal. And I feel like RRR has that as well. So I'm looking for, I'll be there day one and I'm hoping it gets an immediate theatrical release. I don't know if it's going to be one that they release in India first or you think they realize how big of a hit it is, and it's going to get a theatrical release pretty immediate.
I mean, it just depends if an American studio jumps in and throws some money down for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they want to get RRR day one. RRRRR. Or is it RRRs?
RRRs?
Yeah, like aliens.
I like how yeah.
Triple R with an S.
I like how Mike's gone with it. It's just RRR. It's just 2 RR. You know, that's a great kind of sequel there.
How about RRRTOO?
Oh man, he's like, I used the word franchise hoping that there would be another world of RRR again, said one of the I guess that was one of the actors. Sometimes if you just hope and you say a few words, hoping it'll happen, and it's just a way of positive thinking, wanting more. I don't know if that was one of the actors who's talking about manifesting that. It's the most recent entry from South India, which includes Telugu, Tamil, a language to upstage the more glamorous offerings out of Bollywood. Man, dude, still, that was just so much heat. We got so much heat.
Bollywood and Tollywood got heat.
Yeah, that got so much
That's
heat.
like AEW and WWE.
Man, so you just can't mistake that. So we won't make that mistake again, and mistake we won't make is we won't wait so long to see RRR 2.
Yeah.
Electric Boogaloo or...
That's what I needed.
I'm liking RRRs.
Yes. Get as many R's in there as you can. Awesome. All right, so you want to jump into our surprise? You got any more spots, or you want to jump into our surprise?
I got no more spots. I guess this would be a good moment.
Yeah. So let me whip this. Excuse me while I whip this out. Yeah, they can't show that movie anymore either. So
I think you could, like, if you really just put into that, like, hey, this is a commentary. This isn't meant to be like this is the joke. No, the commentary is the joke.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's perfect.
There's no way. There's absolutely no way. If you made Blazing Saddles today, you would be fired from your job. You would be kicked out of you would be so canceled. And there's just certain lines in that movie where you watch it and it's hilarious, but it's like, oh my God.
Yeah, Mel Gibson.
It's like
Mel Brooks got away with a lot.
He really did.
He got away with a whole lot. I mean, did you see SNL this past weekend with Dave Chappelle?
Oh yeah.
And his monologue, which I thought it was genius.
He's fantastic.
I think he's the greatest of all time as far as stand-up comedy. But man, he's getting heat for that monologue.
No, I had no problem with it at all. I think you're supposed to kind of push the envelope a little bit. And he feels edgy. He feels like somebody that he doesn't feel like the half-baked Dave Chappelle, from that movie. He feels like the Dave Chappelle that's been through some shit.
And shout out to Jewish people everywhere. I don't have heat with you. I want everybody to feel good and comfortable and not insulted. But it's just like, I don't know. He's just a genius. The way he weaves what he says, and he doesn't really take the piss out of anybody. He takes the piss out of himself. You know what I mean?
He does.
Portraying his own ignorance, but it's just like, I don't know. Anyway, YouTube's probably going to shut us down at this point.
I love that he got control of all his characters, and now the Chappelle Show characters are SNL characters.
Yeah, I love to see it.
You got some of them dragon rocks?
Here's my pitch. Do Chappelle Show theme park where you can go interact with all of Chappelle's characters.
Oh my God.
The crack guy.
Yeah, you can jump on the couch.
The black white supremacist.
Go to the player haters ball.
Yeah.
Player haters ball.
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Oh man. So I can't believe, guys, so we've been doing this. So today, we've been doing this for a year.
Man,
we've been doing this for an entire year on YouTube Live. We dabbled in some pre-recorded content, and then we kind of dipped our toe in through Twitch.
Oh wait, should I play one? We didn't do that.
Yeah, let's do that. Before we get into that, let's go
yeah.
back. So we're going to go back to, this is around November 4th-ish. So I believe it's around November 4th. So it was the Thanksgiving special, which, by the way, don't forget, mark your calendars. Tune in next Monday. We are going to be doing our second annual Thanksgiving special. But this was our first Thanksgiving. I don't know. Did we still have the hoods on? I don't remember if we had the hoods. If we had the hoods for that Thanksgiving special, I think we did.
Oh yeah, we had just
context
we had
having hoods on.
Oh yeah, you need to stretch that out, dude. Please explain that.
Yeah. So in hoods,
the algorithm is already turning us off at this point.
So yes, in wrestling slang, a mask is called a hood. Mascaras over there. So yeah, we did that. Just because that's Dos Incredibles. Like Mike pointed out, who SSS could also be the because that's those. Oh, no, it's not me.
Sorry, it's hard to get you. Let me just give me a second.
Yeah, so we have a little bit we had a little bit of our Spanglish with the Dos and the Incredibles, and we had some other names that we were playing with, and somebody had a name that we were talking about on Instagram, and they haven't done anything since. So, but Mike's always wondered, do you think the algorithm's a little bit confused by your name?
All right.
I was it's possible, because I'm sure it's not... It doesn't get the subtleties of kind of language. It doesn't get any kind of irony or anything like that. So it's to bust through.
I remember when you guys started, I'd look up the Dos Incredibles channel, and I'd have to go through so many different videos in Spanish.
Yeah. Right there in the very beginning, where I think our SEO has finally been somewhat repaired.
Yes,
where we're up there with at least the Incredibles.
yeah.
Which I like that we go in hand to hand with that. That's a company that I'm okay to hear. Yeah, Mike is an SEO expert, and he's like, and there's no doubt. So we've been really battling through. We had the mask. We took the mask off because we weren't sure if that was messing anything with the algorithm, right? So we can't be somebody, it's still kind of a mascot, but it's not necessarily a mask we can put on there. But I have a lot of masks with mouth holes that have a lot of food and beer.
That's true. I remember those days, you getting the Modelo Mondays.
Oh yeah, and the Modelo,
and then just all on the mask,
and it just dripped down. I was like, man, maybe I need a straw. Even the Brock Lesnar seasoning, I had to pull the mouth hole open a little bit and jam it in there like somebody who wasn't ready to take their medicine. But in the beginning, remember we did blockbuster video trivia, which is always fun. Any kind of movie trivia. We did Halloween movie trivia, but our first show for the Thanksgiving special, we did some Thanksgiving movie trivia, which we thought was there's not many Thanksgiving movies, but there are Thanksgiving movie scenes. There we go. So check that out.
Oh, there it is.
That's good.
Yeah, I came into the hoop hard. Modelo Monday. The pineapple one.
I'm having a hard time navigating our own YouTube page, so it's difficult. I'm not sure if this one is it.
No, I don't think that's it. I think that was... You got to go. So we do have a playlist on there that's the house show playlist.
Yeah, this one's it.
No, that's 3. It's 2 more back. So if you go to the playlist,
I don't think it's on here.
Yeah, it's on the very.
It's not. There's nothing here.
Oh, interesting. No, maybe you got to go to the live. You know how they have the tabs and they go live now. They have a live tab.
That's pretty.
With our tab, scroll down to that one, and it'll show you where you went live. Which YouTube just recently added these features. So it shows shorts, it shows home, videos, shorts, and then it has one that's called live. If you scroll down to that one, yeah, we had Dusty Rhodes. That's it. Yeah, that's the one.
Let's drink them.
That's it. So that logo was fresh out of the gate, right? We were just getting ready. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
With the Nintendo mask.
Studios here in Austin.
That's a good mask. That's actually a custom mask.
That's a good
from
one.
Etsy. Yeah, that's a custom mask.
I look like I have no nose.
You're an anime character.
Yeah.
Man, I can't believe it. It's just like a year ago. So we didn't even get. So we haven't gone to the convention yet. So we didn't have some of that artwork ready. We were trying to get some. Oh yeah, we did bookmark this one.
I think you went back and bookmarked them, yeah.
Okay, yeah, so we had a side gourd.
Oh, that was right before we went to Mission Pro.
Yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, I remember that close-up cam. Oh, that's my old Fitbit. Yeah, headphones on mask, mask on mouth, mouth on ears. That was from our friends at Southern Star Brewery, right, where Mission Pro had their show.
Yeah.
Oh, we were talking about Falcon and Winter Soldier right there with Thanksgiving movie trivia.
Man, that's just a year. Like, I feel like that was a lifetime ago.
Yeah. Yeah, Mario found a lost episode that we're going to be posting soon.
Oh,
that was
the
like
lost episode,
That
yeah.
was like a very first, like, this is the first thing we ever filmed for YouTube at all.
Yeah.
And we were just talking about WandaVision. And we had just talked about when he was like, yeah, we need to do some streaming. And like, oh, we just missed the Mandalorian Season 2 finale with the whole Luke Skywalker reveal. And it's like, oh, we'll start it with WandaVision because that's going to be the first piece of Marvel content that we've got in so long, and it actually worked out really well.
Nice.
But JJ, you've been with us from the beginning. You've been with us from you're that day one-ish. You're like the Usos. You can do right here. You the ones. So and you know.
Yeah, I remember Mario hit me up. He's like, hey, I got a thing going. Check it out. I was like, yeah, shoot, I'll check it out. And, and I love the content. And so, I just like, try and get every week. I think I get most weeks. Every once in a while, I got to travel or or something.
It happens, man.
Yeah. I try and I catch, the replay or, you guys are breaking up everything. And so I try and watch everything.
We would try, and we try to take the clips, and we jump across socials, and I try to match them up across in there, and we notice you're always there, and it's I very much appreciate it. You're also our first Patreon.
I know. I remember Jeff started the Patreon, and I was kind of Jeff. I don't know if you get this from the stream, but Jeff's more the optimist of the career, and he tells me start a Patreon. I'm just like, who's gonna pay anything to watch us? What are you talking about? But then JJ signed up immediately.
Yeah, you posted the link tree, and I was like, "Oh, cool! Like, what do they got? Oh, yeah, boom! I'm on for Patreon. Yeah,
man. It's still because our goal is still there. We're still going to get our brick and mortar, but we got shorts we got to work on, and we got stuff. So every little bit helps. So we wanted to, reward you for being our first day one-ish, our first Patreon, our first everything. Pretty much on this show, and it's your birthday. So I don't know if you noticed, there is over there straight ahead to you. There's a black tarp. So underneath that black tarp is, for your birthday and for your support, you're getting your very own 55-inch Dos Incredible Tron 5000. So this is a picture just because we couldn't.
We can't see the picture, Jeff.
Where is it?
I put a monitor in front of you so you can see what's going on.
Oh, okay. Right.
Put it in the close-up cam in front of the cake.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's where I was at. I thought. There you go. So that's just us holding the TV to show the proof that there's TV, because like we try to do it on all these different games, like it just looks like black space. So yes, that Dos Incredible Tron 5000 brought to you by our friends at LG, comes with its own, very own power cord, remote, and mount. So if you want to mount it or if you want to put it on your shelf, but
do not ask us why there's mounting brackets on it.
That's already on there.
It came like that, and there was no box.
Yes, there's no box. Don't question it in there. But we have it comes with it comes with those incredible stickers brought to you our friend at Geek Commander.
Those are so
man,
great, those stickers.
Yeah. So thank you for your journey, and then a happily belated birthday.
Thank
and
you.
Hopefully you brought the bigger cars that you can fit the TV.
Yes, I brought the truck.
So we can throw a sticker on there, and you can have your very own. Like right behind you is one of the Dos Incredible Trons.
Oh yeah,
right behind you. So now you can have that at home. So thanks.
Nice. I got.
Thank you for everything. I mean, you're part of the crew for sure, but like you're the one that kind of okay, this could work. We can get this going here. So again, and we're very appreciative to everything you do to help, and you've been our good luck charm. Like when we got stuff that comes, whether it's a short that like, wow, that short took off. JJ's in it. It's like we got a long form. Wow, that one took off. JJ's in it. So let's see how today.
Right.
No pressure, but let's see how
pressure.
today takes us. If you're watching at home, we are, we're doing our best. We hit a lot of our thresholds before we can really get to that next level on YouTube, and the final threshold is that hurdle to get to that. We're halfway there. We need 500 more subs, and we will cross that threshold to be that full YouTuber. So
no doubt.
It's been a fun year. It took us a year to get there, and we're gonna keep going. We got a lot of stuff that we're cooking up. We're going to be doing shorts. We're going to put them in festivals. So it's going to be a Dose Incredible Presents. We're going to have production. Mike is actually working as we speak.
How dope would it be if this plays at Alamo Drafthouse and we get the logo up on the big screen?
Yeah.
There it is.
Before the movie.
If we get that for Fantastic Fest or South by. So, yeah, I mean, and of course you got to be in it.
Need to print a gang of stickers for that.
That's right.
That's right.
Just hand out stickers.
Yep.
But yeah, you're going to be in that because we know it's going to take off.
I'm in.
Mike has been, we came up with something and Mike's been firing off some great ideas. And I think you're really going to like it. And we were playing with it a little bit when we were going to try to rush something. It's like, no, we can walk into this and we can make something really, really good. And I think you're really going to enjoy it. I want you to, I'm not going to give any spoilers here because I want you to like feel it and be like, oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, good stuff. So
nice.
Happy birthday, show.
Thank you so
Happy
much.
birthday, JJ. Thanks for coming. And I think that's a gimmick, right? That's a show.
A show.
Let's do it. And don't forget to tune in next Monday for our second annual Thanksgiving Day special. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for kayfabe content, horror high spots, and what's the third one? I always mess that up.
Horror spots, kayfabe content, and culture pops.
Culture pop for movie marks and lucha nerds. So we'll end it with Batman saying, "Jeff, you always blow the spot, but it's gonna be okay."